Uh, test, 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 test. What do we want? Zeros or down low? Like here?
Let's go zeros. Let's
Sure.
go just above 5.
Okay, that'll work.
Check, and then I'm gonna just talk into it. Check, 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 check. It's a new look team in a brand new league. The Sherman Shadowcats spent the last 2 years playing successful baseball in the Mid-America League. Now, the Cats take on a new challenge in the Texas Collegiate League. And it starts tonight as the Sherman Shadowcats take on the San Antonio River Monsters. Hello and welcome to Sullivan Field here at the University of Incarnate Word. Alongside Will Clifford, I'm Josh Rajanov, and welcome to the Rusco Welding pregame show. Will, happy opening day, man.
Josh, happy opening day. I'm excited to see the season get going here. We watched these kittens these last 2 years playing that Mid-American League, and they were learning and growing, and now they're Cats, and they're on the prowl for their first win of the season on the first day of the season. We're here at Incarnate Word on the banks of the San Antonio River. Nowhere else that I'd rather be, Josh.
Yeah, what a beautiful spot here at the University of Incarnate Word. You're right by the San Antonio River. You know, we're excited to be in San Antonio. The Shadowcats excited to be in a brand new league, in a league that has a lot of prestige, been here since 2004. Look, this league has created many Major League Baseball players, has created a lot of D1 talent, and the Shadowcats happy to be there in a new city too. Sherman has yet to play in San Antonio, so a beautiful spot for us to be watching some baseball, Will.
Great spot to be watching baseball against a great team that's got some heritage of their own in the TCL. They've spent a handful of leagues now, San Antonio has, and although they've never had a winning record, they've still won the league before, so no schmuck in game one here.
No schmuck in game one. Two really good lineups. Now, for the Shadowcats, two kind of different roster makeups. San Antonio, a good amount of D2, also has that JUCO talent as well. For the Shadowcats, a good amount of JUCO. That's what we are used to seeing with the Shadowcats past couple of years in the Mid-America League. But still, you talk to a lot of people around this team. You talk to Isaac Davila, who you'll hear from in a few moments on the Coaches Report. Tyson Woodland, the associate GM, and all the staff. It seems like there's a lot of excitement around this team, especially because of the league it's playing in.
No, the league is very interesting, especially because not only San Antonio or Sherman, but they all have their own unique roster makeups, and that's, you know, what makes baseball special. But in this league particularly, guys are coming from all over. They're not just from the Southwest region. You got guys coming in from California, even further up north in Chicago in that northern area.
So how about South Bend, Indiana?
South Bend, Indiana, exactly. So you got guys from all over, and it's interesting to see how these compositions come together. Some teams more power bats. You know, you might see Abilene later this year. It's got a lot of D1 guys who got a little juice, but maybe a little more strikeout heavy. And you might see some more small ball guys that rely on movement on the base paths a little bit more. So we'll see what ends up working out as the season goes on.
It should be a fun year and an incredibly fun league, and it's going to be a lot of fun to cover it all year long. You can listen to us all year long on the Mixlr stream that you're listening to right now, and we're live on YouTube as well. So be sure to follow the audio on Mixlr and YouTube all year long for every home game, select road games here for opening day down here in San Antonio. It's time for our Clay Cooley Hyundai pitching matchup. First for the San Antonio River Monsters, sending out Matthew Foley, the right-hander, who pitching in his home stadium at Incarnate Word. Matthew Foley, this past year, only 14 2/3 of innings of work, gave up 18 earned runs, struggled with command, 13 walks. What can you expect to see out of the right-hander for the River Monsters today?
I think he's got a very good spin rate on his pitches. He likes to go with a fastball, curveball, slider, and then a changeup. So there's a lot of good movement on those pitches while getting some solid velocity in there as well. Nothing ridiculous, though, with the speed that would be major league level, but when he's working, that ball is moving up and down and side to side in the zone and really conducing a lot of bad contact. And so we'll see how he does at home. You know, as you said, he plays for the University of Incarnate Word. Although he didn't have a great deal of work this year, I bet there's still an aspect where you're pitching at home, you feel comfortable. So we'll see how he does when he takes the mound today.
And on the other side of the Clay Cooley Hyundai of Sherman pitching matchup, you got John Langhenig, a returner for the Shadowcats, who's a bit wild on the mound, but has a very heavy fastball and a good pitcher for the Shadowcats to go on opening day.
Yeah, this last season at Seward County Community College, he was struggling to find the zone a little bit, 30 earned runs and only 8 2/3 innings of work, but he likes to work with his catcher, and he's a strikeout guy, and when he's throwing strikes, he's hard to pitch. You know, he's a guy who can range anywhere from 88 to 92, even 93 with his fastball. He goes with a 4-seam, a 2-seam, a slider, and a curve. That slider is that strikeout pitch, whereas that curveball is kind of that get me over, get me back into this count pitch. So we'll see how he battles. He's usually out of the bullpen in college, but he was selected as the starter today, so we'll see how he does.
Was out of the bullpen last year with the Shadowcats as well. He struggled early on, especially with command early on in the season, but really toned it in towards the later stretch of that year as well. Clay Cooley Hyundai of Sherman pitching matchup, of course, brought to you by Clay Cooley Hyundai. Shot me first, shot me last. Either way, come see Clay. You know, Will, we got a few newcomers on the team for the Shadowcats.
Yeah, it's great to have the guys back in the ballpark, and there's some returners, but there's also a whole new crop of ball players who are ready to make their mark on Shadowcat Nation. And Sam Johnson dives into the new roster with this piece.
Every summer brings a new look to the Sherman Shadowcats, and this season is no different. With players arriving from colleges across the country, the Shadowcats are welcoming a fresh group of talent as they begin their first season in a new league. For many newcomers like Aiden Benson from Rogers, Arkansas, joining the Shadowcats is an opportunity to continue developing his game and experience the unique atmosphere that's different between college and summer collegiate baseball.
It's more relaxed. College it can be stressful sometimes, but here everybody's kind of just trying to play baseball, have fun. It kind of takes you back to like when you were a kid.
One thing that quickly stands out about baseball in Texas is the level of competition. From high school programs to college rosters and summer leagues, talent can be found all across the state. That's something Colton Falbish from Fort Wayne, Indiana has noticed since arriving in Sherman.
The guys down here, there's a whole different skill level. Seeing a bunch of guys, whether they're at JUCO or Division II, NAIA, the ball just comes off the bat different. It sounds different, it flies different, a lot cleaner. I definitely know Texas is bigger on baseball than Indiana. So coming from my school, I'm one of the more stronger guys. Coming in, I was like, all right, I'm one of the bigger, stronger guys on the team. And then you come here and you're like, all right, I'm pretty equal with everybody else. So yeah, it's pretty different.
While players come from different schools and backgrounds, they're united by a common goal: to improve their game, compete at a high level, and help the Shadowcats succeed this summer.
Just this last year, I've really fine-tuned how I attack batters, and I'm definitely going to take that into this summer.
Summer collegiate baseball is about more than what happens between the lines. With players living, traveling, and competing together for weeks at a time, relationships begin to form quickly.
Baseball is a big thing about connections. So just keep going, and then making those connections is going to take you a long way. So it's been great. Just getting the feedback from our coaches, it's been huge. Our first practice, I sort of struggled just getting back in the groove of things, and then today, like, it sort of clicked, and he even told me it clicked, and that's just a big thing. Like I said, on the mental side, like hearing that, because I'm thinking it myself, and then you hear your coach say it, so it's pretty big.
As the Shadowcats begin a new chapter in a new league, they'll lean on a roster full of fresh faces hoping to make an impact both on and off the field.
I mean, this is the first year in the TCL, and I want to be feared. I want the Shadowcats to be feared. I want people to know that we mean business and we're going to come and compete. I think it's going to be a very close-knit team, and I think we're going to go kick some butt.
For the Sherman Shadowcats, I'm Sam Johnson.
And that new look squad has a chance to make a strong first impression against San Antonio tonight. We're up against our first break here, but when we return, Josh Radjanov sits down with interim manager Isaac Davila ahead of today's matchup with the River Monsters. Stick around. The Resco Welding pregame show rolls on after this.
All right, welcome back on the Rusco Welding pregame show, and it's time for our Abel Allman Roofing Coaches Report. I'm joined by interim manager Isaac Davila. Isaac, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Great to be here.
Coach, thank you so much for joining the show today. And overall, opening day, a lot of excitement. Obviously, new league, new team. Just overall, to get us started, what's your favorite opening day memory that you might have?
Yeah, man, my favorite open day memory has to be 2 years ago. I was playing at Prairie View A&M University, and our opening day was actually at Minute Maid Park, the Astros Stadium. That was once in a lifetime experience to be able to walk on that field, the same field as all those superstars, man. That was an awesome day memory, man. I really enjoyed that. That was probably my favorite memory opening day.
Yeah,
So that's awesome.
that has to be a great experience, just being able to play a major league stadium. Just what was it like to kind of like walk the field there, see where some of your maybe favorite players have grown up?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, Jose Altuve was my favorite player growing up. Obviously, undersized guy, middle infield guy. That's exactly my profile. So being able to play second base and stand at the same position as he did, that was a once in a lifetime opportunity. Man, everything was just gigantic. It's hard to be in a bad mood in a stadium like that with all that kind of stuff going on, man. That's a great stadium.
And now opening day in a beautiful stadium here in Incarnate Word, home of the Cardinals at UIW. Just what does it mean to be playing in this stadium in a new league and just another opportunity for the Shadowcats?
Oh, man, I mean, I'm excited to be a part of the Shadowcats in the first year in the TCL. I'm hoping we come in and make a splash. I've played here at UIW quite some time. It's a beautiful park. I love playing here. It's always good stuff when I come down here, so I'm excited to be here.
It's a fresh team. Just overall, how has the team been getting along after a few days of practices, media day the other day? Just how has the team been meshing so far?
So far I've noticed that the guys have really clicked pretty quickly. I think we got a really good group of guys as far as guys being on time and just kind of buying into a new coaching staff. They've never met me, I've never met them, but I think that they're doing a really good job meshing with each other and also too meshing with the coaching staff. I think it's going to be a great summer. I think they've been really taking information really well, so I'm excited about that.
Manager Barry Manuel not going to be here until Thursday, so an opportunity for you to manage a team for a couple of days. What are you most looking forward to in that opportunity?
Oh man, honestly, to be honest, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm a little bit of everything. I'm at this age, in my career, it's been a blessing to be able to be here and be an interim manager for just a couple days. I think it's a great experience for me and also great for my career. To be able to step up as a coach. I think every chance to be able to grow as a coach is monumental, as far as in this career, in this, job. So I'm excited. I'm hoping that we come and I get my first interim manager, win. That'd be awesome.
There you go.
Get Barry to come back on a 2-0 record. That's my plan.
For sure. That's a good plan. You have some coaching experience, Prairie View A&M, where you played as well. Just overall, describe your coaching experience and how can that translate into summer ball with the Shadowcats?
Yeah, man. Actually, a lot of the stuff that I'm kind of programming right now with our guys and our hitters and kind of our systematic, offensive approach and how we kind of go about our business is a lot of stuff that I learned from Prairie View A&M. I was blessed with a great coaching staff over there to really take me under their wing and show me the ropes as far as what a good practice plan looks like and what a good program and how it's supposed to be ran. So really, I just take all the knowledge that I learned at Prairie View A&M and I apply it here. And I think it's a good opportunity for me also too to be able to connect with some other baseball players that are not my guys at Prairie View. So I'm hoping it sticks with them, and I'm hoping they learn something from me, and I learn something from them at the same time as well.
Chatting with interim manager Isaac Davila here on the Abel Allman Roofing Coaches Report. Coach, what do you know about the San Antonio team, and what about the River Monsters is going to provide a challenge to you guys today?
Yeah, man, I don't know too much about the River Monsters, but from doing research from the past couple years, they have been a pretty scrappy team. They're going to have some ball players. Some of my players that play for me at Prairie View A&M University actually play on this team. So if they're anything like them, they're going to be competitors and they're going to grind out at bats, and it's going to be a good matchup. I think we're going to both be pretty similar as far as being relentless at the plate and on the mound too.
Yeah, on the mound, you have John Langhennig going for you guys today, going for the Shadowcats. Just overall, what does he bring on the mound? His demeanor, his pitches. Just what do you like out of him in the starting role today?
Yeah, man. I really like John. You know, he works hard. You know, when you talk to him and you look at him in his eyes and you have conversations with him, you can really tell he's taking in the information, and it just looks like he really wants to get better. He's got a really good fastball and he's got a good breaking ball. I think if he fills up the zone today and he really does what he's supposed to do and attack hitters, I think he's going to have a lot of success. I really like the fact that he's a competitor as well. You know, when I talked about competing this, you know, when I first got the job and I told him, you know, kind of what we're going to be doing on the mound, you know, he was fired up. So I think he's going to be ready to go, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do today.
Overall, new lineup, new team. What's the excitement level for today?
Man, I'm really excited, man. I've been watching BP for the past couple days, and you know the guys are really trying to buy in. So I think it's going to be a good day today at the plate. You know, I think I like our matchup. I think we're going to do some pretty good things and hopefully make a splash and really start the reputation for the Shadowcats early. You know, that's my goal. So I'm excited.
We're excited too. Coach, thank you so much for joining the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
That's interim manager Isaac Davila joining the Abel Alleman Roofing Coaches Report. Stick around. We got lineups in first pitch coming right here on the Rusco Welding pregame show.
And we're back on the Rusco Welding pregame show. I'm Will Clifford, joined by Josh Radjanov in the first game of the season, opening day here at the University of Incarnate Word. And we're going to talk about some players to watch here on both San Antonio and Sherman as we're counting down till first pitch. For the Shadowcats, they're going to be leading off with Patrick Zano, and he's a multi-tool guy who can be pretty versatile.
Had a really good year at Odessa College, a pretty top-tier JUCO Odessa is, and he hit just about 350, played in almost 30 games. So a real electric guy and probably one of those JUCO guys who has a lot to prove. He just finished up his freshman year there, plans to go back to Odessa next year as well. So another guy who just is going to use the summer, try and prove something. But yeah, Odessa, a top-tier JUCO, and you know, Zano had a really good year, one of the many Odessa guys on this Shadowcats team. So excited to see him out of the leadoff spot. I'm also excited to see Austin Haley play.
Austin Haley, yeah, he was a four-sport athlete in high school, so he's just tricks all around the board. He had 11 putouts on defense, so he's a defensive stud, playing shortstop today in Kansas State, and he was also at Murray State the year before, where he had a great season.
And monster year at Murray State. I got a chance to talk to him yesterday just about what D1 baseball is like. He said, well, it's competitive, and of course it is. You know, didn't get the most opportunities at Kansas State, had just 11 at-bats, didn't get a hit, did walk a couple of times with 7 strikeouts, but he's a guy who's been around summer ball. He's really going to have to step up and be a leader on this team. He played in the Northwoods League last year. For those of you who know summer ball teams, the Northwoods League is, you know, kind of up there with the Cape Cod League in terms of like top tier leagues. The Texas Collegiate League up there too, but you know the Northwoods League is a well-renowned league for summer ball. He had about 250, but he had an 819 OPS last year in the Northwoods League, so he's definitely very talented. And then also that year at Murray State that you just mentioned, he over 500 with 14 home runs, 65 RBIs, a 14.58 OPS for him in that year at Murray State. Just unbelievable stuff from him. So he's incredibly talented. He's in the transfer portal right now. I can't imagine for that much longer.
And he also pitches, too. He had a 3.8 ERA last year at K-State, so a two-way player, somewhat Shohei Ohtani-esque, which is what everybody says about the two-way players these days, but also when he's swinging the bat well, that ball is going in play, and he's doing some damage. All right, well, we're up against another break here. You're listening to the Rusco Welding pregame show for the Sherman Shadowcats baseball.
The wait is over. It is finally, once again, baseball time in the Texas Collegiate League. The Sherman Shadowcats in a new league, so long with the Mid-America League, and hello to the Texas Collegiate League, the Shadowcats, taking on the San Antonio River Monsters here at Sullivan Field at the University of Incarnate Word. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth alongside Will Clifford. I'm Josh Rajanov on the Jake Shockley State Farm Shadowcats Audio Network. We start with our Vanguard GMC starting lineups. First for the Shadowcats, the visiting Shadowcats, who will go to the plate first. Patrick Zano leads off, plays left field. Austin Haley, the shortstop, bats second. Cole Carnes, a third-year returner for the Cats, DHs and bats third. Easton Ford in the cleanup spot playing first base. Delton Roberts at second base and bats fifth. Donovan Arroyo in the sixth hole and playing third base. Ryan Sessions out in right field, bats seventh. Noah Tart behind the plate, and he bats eighth. And Paxton Samuelson rounds out the Shadowcat lineup and playing center field. Will, we got to see the Shadowcats take BP a few times this week, and that seemed pretty well so far for the Cats.
Bats will hopefully get moving today. You know, it can be a very slow day when you have to rely on your pitcher to get you through a long and drawn-out one. It's a hot one here today, about 90 degrees, so don't want to be standing out there in that field for too long, so as much time in the dugout as you can get as the sun starts to set and some cool Texas breeze maybe blows through San Antonio.
Blows through San Antonio here at Incarnate Word. Speaking of UIW, on the mound for the River Monsters, Matthew Foley, the junior out of Incarnate Word. He gets the nod for the River Monsters on opening day. Pitched 14 2/3 innings of work. Gave up 18 earned runs. That equates to an 11.05 ERA in last season with the Cardinals. Just about set for first pitch. The River Monsters in their navy tops, white pants, and baby blue River Monsters underlined across the chest. Shadowcats, black tops, block Shadowcats across the chest, and gray pants. Fully set and comes home to the lefty Zano. First pitch is at the bottom of the zone, and we're underway here. 0-1 the count to Patrick Zano at Sullivan Field.
The lefty is a multi-tool guy, and he's got that fast bat speed that we talked about in that pregame show. We'll see if he goes to work quickly.
0-1 the count, and the pitch slaps foul over the third base dugout, and the count is 0-2. Foley with a heavy fastball that time got onto Zano, just kind of got it off the hands. An interesting change for these guys, usually playing with metal bats, now in a wood bat summer ball league.
I think the goal is to simulate that minor league.
Foley slaps the 0-2 pitch up the middle, caught by Pruski out at short.
I think the goal is to simulate that minor league feel as much as possible, and so that's why you get that switch to wood bats and also a similar minor league schedule where you're playing these series sets against teams. It's always going to be home and away sets, so everybody in the league will play everybody in at least one series, if not two or three.
Zano sent that one on a line right up the middle, just Pruski set up perfectly right there up the middle. Austin Haley into the batter's box. Foley comes home. Misses high with a fastball. The field for the River Monsters, Angel Martinez in left, Roman Trinidad in center, Bryce Wells in right, Sammy Morales out at third base, Logan Pruski at short just made that last play, Matthew Felix at second, Hunter Ham at first, and Jorge De Los Santos does the catching. 1-0 pitch is on the outer half, and the count's 1-1 to Austin Haley, the 6', 190-pound junior out of Kansas State, who did not play very much at Kansas State, only had 11 at-bats, went 0 for 11. But a talented player for the Shadowcats, trying to make a spot out of the 2-hole. The 1-1 pitch misses low. Haley, before transferring to Kansas State, spent a year with Murray State and had an absolute monster 2025 season, hitting above 500 with 14 home runs and 65 RBIs.
And he's a two-way guy as well.
2-1 the count and the pitch. Slap straight foul. Straight back foul, and the count's 2-2. Haley, that year at Murray State, he was the JUCO first-year All-American. He was All-Region and led Murray State all the way to the Region 2 championship and lost in the championship round. 2-2, the count to the right-hander. Foley comes set at the belt. Comes home with a 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses low. Really good watch by Haley right there, letting that one go below. Bounced in there, but a competitive breaking ball from Foley. Full count, and one gone, no score here in the top of the first. Foley set, delivers the payoff pitch. Fouled straight back, and we'll do it again at 3-2.
And behind the plate for San Antonio, Jorge De Los Santos. De Los Santos, of course, was looking pretty solid in batting practice today, driving a bunch of balls out to left field. He's a guy who's going to be a threat both on defense behind the plate and on offense.
Full count. Foley comes home. Misses high. It's a one-out walk offered to Austin Haley. And Foley does sometimes struggle with command, had 13 walks and 14-plus innings of work this year at Incarnate Word. So issues his first base on ball here. And now there's a runner on with one gone, no score here in the top of the first. Cole Carnes steps up to the plate, the DH in today's game. So Foley, who works from the stretch all the time, continues from the stretch, comes home, and catches the outer half with a fastball, 0-1 the count. Cole Carnes set to transfer out of Southern Arkansas University, just transferred there this past year, a third-year returner for the Shadowcats. 0-1 the count as Haley leads off at first. And the pitch misses inside, and the count's 1-1.
Last summer for the Shadowcats, he hit .391 with one homer on the year, so a guy who's bringing in some returning offensive production.
And playing for his third straight year with the Cats, dedication to Sherman. Gotta love to see it. 1-1. This one slapped down the third base line, fades, foul, and out of play. So the count's 1-2. Yeah, Cole Carnes had a pretty good year with Sherman last year, just didn't get as many opportunities as he hoped. Played in just 21 of the 64 games. He was there for the entire year. But whenever he was in, he definitely mashed at the plate. 1-2. Called strike 3. Carnes caught looking at a fastball on the outer half. First strikeout of the day for Foley, and there's 2 gone here in the top of the first, no score. Just a perfectly placed fastball right on the outer half. Nothing Carnes could do but just watch it. The lefty in the box saw it on the outer half. So Haley's still at first. 2 gone here in the top of the first, and Foley will check in on Haley. He's back in with a dive. Easton Ford, the big righty at the plate for the Shadowcats. Foley a check at Haley, comes set. Long look in, and kicks and fires. Fastball catches the outer half, and the count is 0-1. Foley has done a really good job early on at being commanding in the zone and getting that first pitch strike.
You know, when you've got yourself and you're attacking attacking batters rather, good things happen, and he's throwing strikes and making the Shadowcats make a play on the ball.
The 0-1 misses way up and in. Ford has to back away from that one, and the count's 1-1. Easton Ford just finished up an incredible year at Southeastern Oklahoma State, where he hit over .315 with 4 home runs, 18 RBIs. 1-1 the count. Foley kicks and deals. Misses inside, runs Ford off the plate again, and the count's 2-1.
Ford last summer with the Shadowcats hitting just under 300 at .290. He had 12 hits in just 9 hits in just 12 games played. Aims to make a bigger difference this summer, appearing in more games.
2-1. Haley goes, and the pitch is slapped foul over the first base dugout. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 gone here in the top of the first, no score. Haley got a really good jump off of first and probably would have had that stolen had Ford not fouled that one off. But instead, it's a 2-2 count to the big, tall righty in the box. Stands at 6'3", 225. 2-2 the count, fully set. And comes home. Breaking ball misses high, couldn't snap that slider down, so the count runs full. And Foley in danger of walking his second in the inning. And with the full count 2 gone, Austin Haley will have the head start off of first base. See if Foley checks in on him. Full count. And the payoff pitch. This one hit straight towards second base. Felix ranges over, fields it, throws to first, and that retires the side. Couple of hard hit balls, but just right at defenders for the River Monsters. And despite the walk, Matt Foley gets out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning. No score here at Sullivan Field. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcat Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Shadowcats Audio Network. Back here at Sullivan Field, Josh Rajanov alongside Will Clifford. This first inning is brought to you by the First Texoma National Bank, the neighborhood bank that you can count on. It's time for the second half of our Vanguard GMC starting lineups. For the River Monsters in the bottom half of the first, send up Jorge de los Santos, and he leads off and plays catcher. Roman Trinidad in center field bats second. Logan Pruski in the 3-hole plays short. Hunter Ham in the cleanup spot plays first base. David De Hoyos, the DH, bats in the 5-hole. Sammy Morales in the 6-hole plays third base. Bryce Wells out in right field bats 7th. Angel Martinez in the 8th spot plays left field. Matthew Felix rounds out the lineup playing second base. John Langhenig, the starter on the mound for the Shadowcats. The right-hander that just finished up a year at Seward County Community College, set to transfer to Southeastern Oklahoma State. The right-hander works closed off to the mound. A hefty fastball from him that sits in the high 80s to low 90s. Works from the wind and comes home. First pitch, big wave and a miss by Santos, and the count is 0-1. Langhenig, again, a very hefty fastball in the high 80s, low 90s. Works with a two-seamer, a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. Comes from the wind and the 0-1. Fouled straight back, and the count's quickly 0-2. Now, where Langhenig does get in trouble sometimes can be command. Had some struggle with command this past year with Seward County, had 26 walks. Last year with Sherman, issues with the walk as well, had 12 in 7 innings of work. 0-2 the count, and the pitch. This one rolled on the ground towards short. Haley ranges towards his left, fields it, throws to first in time to get Santos. And it's the first out of the bottom of the first inning. Nice play by Haley, and hey, 3 straight strikes right there from Langhenig.
You know, maybe he's got the control down, something clicked, and maybe there's a reason he was named the opening day starter. He's controlling the zone. That fastball, that 4-seam and 2-seam work really well together, and if he's tunneling that with that slider, then that's a really disgusting pitch mix that'll really give batters some trouble.
So 1 gone, that brings up Roman Trinidad, lefty in the box, sees a fastball inside. 1-0 the count with 1 gone, no score here in the bottom of the first. Trinidad, again, a mix of players on this River Monsters squad. The 1-0 cut on and miss looked like an off-speed pitch that time from Langhenig. Trinidad, one of those JUCO players for the River Monsters. Out of New Mexico JUCO, but had a great year, was one of their best hitters. 1-1. This one fouled over the third base dugout, and the count is 1-2. But Langhenig showing no fear. 2 really good hitters at the top for the River Monsters, but still Langhenig just pounding the zone.
Pounding the zone, especially against this Trinidad guy who transferred in from Cal, so he comes in with some pretty strong background, and then he was first team all WJCAC.
1-2. Called strike 3. Fastball on the outer half. As Langhenig lets out a fist bump, his first strikeout of the day, and quickly there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the first.
You know, he was telling me the other day he's a strikeout pitcher, and then when I followed up asking, hey, John, you know, what's the celebration when you come off the mound? And he said, I'm not a big celebration guy, I just kind of like to be calm, but maybe that first one, getting it off his back, might have been something coming out there.
And for Langhenig, too, again, not the greatest of years at Seward County, but you know, for him, he knows he has the stuff, he has all the confidence. So letting it show there. First pitch, curveball in the zone to Logan Pruski, and the count is 0-1. Pruski out of the University of Northern Colorado. And Langhenig pitching with a ton of confidence here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. The 0-1 pitch. This one hits sharply down the third base line and sneaks fair, and it trickles all the way to the corner. Pruski rounds first, he's rounding second, he's heading for third. The throw in is not in time. Zano out there had trouble with it in left field. It kicked around in the corner a few times. And Pruski with great speed hustling all the way to third. He got there in a flash. It's a 2-out triple for Logan Pruski. And the River Monsters are rolling here in the bottom of the first with a chance to score first.
Yeah, dive from Arroyo at third base, couldn't get it, and then that bounce in that corner took a weird bounce. Those outfield walls look a little strange. They kind of jut in and come out, and so really ate up Zano there.
First pitch to Hunter Ham is slapped foul, and the count's 0-1. Good piece of hitting from Pruski. Just saw an inside fastball and hugged it kind of inside the third base line, and great speed from him, so he's at third. But still 2 gone, the 0-1 pitch. Big wave and a miss at a breaking ball that time from Langhennig, and he's ahead of the count 0-2. Hunter Ham, out of Prairie View A&M, actually plays for interim head coach of the Shadowcats, Isaac Davila. 0-2 the count and the pitch. This one hits slowly towards short. Haley comes in, Fields throws on the run. Inside, no! Ford dropped it. He lost it in the sun. He had it in his glove, and then it popped out. And a run comes home. Pruski trots home from third, and the River Monsters strike first. It's 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. And that is just unlucky for the Shadowcats, as Ford just lost that one in the sun.
Must have lost that one in the sun. That sun is setting right behind third base, so straight in his field of view. He's got his sunglasses sitting on his hat, not on his eyes, and so maybe that contributed a little bit.
So Langhennig gives up a run. First pitch is rolled on the ground down the third base line, foul to David De Hoyos. The first run of the game is brought to you by First Texas National Bank, real community banking since 1890, and it's brought to you in honor of the River Monsters. And just unfortunate there for the Shadowcats. It looked like Langhennig was going to work out of the runner on third, 2-outs jam. 0-1, pitch misses inside, runner goes, throw to second is in time. Noah Tart, the catcher, guns down Hunter Ham trying to steal second, and that retires the side. But the River Monsters strike first. They get a run on a hit and leave no one on base. As we go to the second inning, you're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Shadowcats Audio Network. We go to the second inning, 1-0. The River Monsters on top of the Shadowcats. This second inning is brought to you by Wall to Wall Cleaning. The Wall to Wall Cleaning, the premier commercial cleaning solution for Grayson County and the surrounding areas. We don't cut corners, we clean them. Matthew Foley back out for another inning of work. He'll face Delton Roberts to start the second inning. First pitch is slapped on the ground towards second base. Felix ranges over, throws to first, and it's in time. One pitch, 1 out to start the top of the second. And Felix, the second baseman, making a couple of good plays in succession here.
For Foley, making quick work of these guys, keeping the pitch count down. Recipe for success and to stay in the game a long way.
So Roberts goes down quickly, brings up Donovan Arroyo. Righty in the box facing the righty on the mound. First pitch, misses high. Well, the Shadowcats playing with an interim manager to start the year, these first 2 games. Isaac Davila, currently an assistant at Texas A&M Prairie View, as Foley comes set and comes home with a 1-0. Breaking ball that drops into the zone. It backs Arroyo off the plate, but it's in there for a strike, 1-1. Now, Barry Manuel will be the head coach and the manager for the Shadowcats, but he had a great year at LSU Eunice. 1-1 the pitch. Bounced in there, and the count's 2-1. The manager for the Cats made it to the JUCO World Series, lost last Wednesday, and he was supposed to come back to the Shadowcats on Monday, staying for a team banquet, so interim manager Isaac Davila. 2-1 the pitch. And it swung on and missed. Arroyo loses his bat. Sends it towards the third base dugout of the River Monsters, and he's kind of laughing with the San Antonio players as he retrieves his bat, kind of re-Pintar's his gloves. 2-2 the count to him. Foley, a long look in, comes set at the belt. And comes home with a 2-2. Swung on and missed. Got Arroyo to wave and miss at a fastball that was up above the zone. Second strikeout of the day for Foley, and there are 2 quick outs here in the top of the second.
Foley's got his good stuff working today, really attacking the zone like we've kind of said, and Sherman seems to be struggling trying to make any contact with it.
So 2 gone, that'll bring up Ryan Sessions, the lefty in the batter's box, another third-year returner for the Shadowcats. First pitch, misses up. Last year had a great year with the Shadowcats, played in 47 games. That's probably led the team last year, or one of the team leaders, definitely in the top 5. He hit .281, which was top 15 in the league. 1-0 the pitch. Misses below the zone, and the count is 2-0. He also had a .436 on base percentage, which was top 10. 2-0 the count as Foley comes set. And comes home to Sessions. Big wave and miss at a fastball that was up.
This year at the University of Arkansas at Monticello, pretty solid season. He also transferred in from Redlands Community College, went to J.J. Pierce High School, which is just south of Sherman.
Not too far from us in Dallas, Texas.
Us.
2-1 the count. Wave and a miss, kind of a sword from Sessions. A kind of inside-out lefty. He kind of has an inside-out swing. He'll send a lot of balls to the opposite way to left field. Was behind on that fastball, and now behind the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 gone here in the top of the second. 1-0 San Antonio on top. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Got Sessions looking with a fastball on the outer half. Third strikeout of the day for Foley, and the Shadowcats go down in order in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second inning. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcat Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Shadowcats Audio Network. To the bottom of the second we go. Shadowcats trailing the River Monsters 1-0. As John Langknecht gave up an unearned run in the bottom of the first. Back out for another inning of work in the bottom of the second. David De Hoyos led off, or was hitting in the 5-hole in the last inning when Hunter Ham got thrown out trying to steal second base to end last inning. So he leads off this inning. First pitch to him just misses low and away from Langknecht with a fastball. Not by much.
Yeah, Noah Tart last inning showing off that quick pop time.
1-0 the count. Langenig working very quickly. Closed off and works from the wind. Comes home with a 1-0. Big wave and miss at an off-speed pitch that time. It looked like kind of a combination of that slider and curveball. I guess that was the curveball. He says he uses it as sort of his get-me-over pitch. But that time got the swing and the miss. 1-1 the count. And the pitch. Runs inside and hits De Hoyos. A fastball that time looked like a two-seamer that just ran inside. Caught De Hoyos right around the belt area. It's a leadoff hit by pitch and a leadoff free base offered by Langenig and the Shadowcats, and the River Monsters once again in business, trying to build on their 1-0 lead.
Yeah, we talked about Langenig's control, and so trying to see where he goes with that. Of course, that one gets away from him, leaning back and trying to maybe get a little more velocity on that pitch, but I think it just slips out a bit.
So I'll bring up Sammy Morales with De Hoyos off of first. First pitch, popped foul. And the count's 0-1. Morales, another New Mexico JUCO guy. One of many New Mexico JUCO guys on this River Monsters roster. De Hoyos off of first, stands at 6'3", 215. And Langenig checks in on him and gets passed forward and trickles up the right field line. De Hoyos rounding second. He's heading for third as Ford just gets to the ball and finally gets it into Haley, the cutoff man. And on the error, De Hoyos goes first to third, and right now the field not looking clean for the Shadowcats.
I mean, this field has some very deep foul territory, and so a ball like that can really get away and rattle all the way up the line. I mean, we saw that triple in the first inning come from a ball that knocked around in that back corner, and even up until a couple 10 feet maybe past the end of the infield, you get a little bit more of that kind of cut in, so balls will really rattle around out there.
0-1 pitch to Morales, cut on and missed. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of foul territory out here at Sullivan Field. And that ball just kind of caromed off the sidewall and up the right field line. 0-2 pitch, hit up the middle and through for a base hit. De Hoyos comes home to score, and it's an RBI single for Sammy Morales. And the River Monsters lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the second inning.
That one just straight back comebacker, a little bit to Lane Hennig's right, and couldn't get down in time and been between the middle infielders. Not much you can do about that, just a well-hit ball.
But the error is what's going to show its ugly head there, rear its ugly head there, because it allowed De Hoyos to get all the way to third. Where if he was still at first, could have just been runners on first and second. And now still no gone, a runner home and a runner on first. As the first pitch here to Bryce Wells misses high.
2 runs, both unearned, and that's not what you want to see on that scoreboard, kind of giving your opponents an edge based on your play. That's never how you want it to be.
Want to know the count to Bryce Wells out of Weatherford JUCO. And the pitch. Morales goes. The pitch is chopped on the ground towards short. Haley fields it. Strong throw to first is in time. Back throw over to second base. Not in time to get Morales. Seems like that was a scheduled hit and run. Haley, the shortstop, was not the one covering, and that was chopped on the ground right back to him. So now that allows Morales to get to second because he was stealing on the pitch. Wells is retired. There's 1 gone here in the bottom of the second. 2-0 River Monsters on top.
And we're just going to keep talking about the weird dimensions of this stadium. It's 335 to the left and right foul poles, and then 407 to center. It's almost a square except for some weird walls kind of jutting in and out. Kind of makes for a very weird stadium to hit at where balls will really get lost.
First pitch here to Martinez, misses up and in. Yeah, we saw it in the first inning as the ball that was Prusky's triple just kind of jumped around out there in left field. And it gave a lot of trouble to Zeno. 1-0. Misses inside with an off-speed pitch, and the count is 2-0 to Angel Martinez. And then again with the error on Langenig trying to throw a pickoff to first base that got past Ford, it caromed off the sidewall all the way up the right field line, allowed De Hoyos to get all the way to third. 2-0 the count to Martinez. Langenig comes home, misses high, and the count's 3-0. You mentioned errors kind of being an issue for the Shadowcats, but also Doyle's got on base because of the hit by pitch. So not only the errors being a struggle, but free bases another struggle, and that was the main issue for the Shadowcats last year. 3-0. And a fastball right down Broadway, and the count's 3-1.
And that was still Lane Hennig's first walk of the day. So not necessarily struggling to throw strikes here, although he is down in a count right now, 3-1.
And here it comes. Slapped foul over third base dugout, and the count's full, so good job by Langhennig to get back into the count.
He was really rearing back on that one, going all the way back, kind of getting that extra velocity and trying to find, I think, that high outside corner.
So the count's full to Angel Martinez. Langhennig set at the belt and comes home. Skied in the air out to straightaway center field. Samuelson started back, now he trots in, makes the play. Morales not going anywhere off a second as Samuelson gets it in. And there's 2 gone in the inning after the flyout to center field. So Martinez is retired, and that brings up the 9-hole Matthew Felix to the plate with a runner in scoring position, trying to extend San Antonio's 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the second.
I mean, we also talk about walks and all these extra base hits and these errors bringing up Langhennig's pitch count. First game of the season, you don't want to be going to your bullpen early on. You want that starter to go as deep as he can.
First pitch to Felix is right there in the zone, a fastball that was right down the middle. No contest from Felix, and the count's 0-1. Langhennig set at the belt. A check of Morales off a second. A few checks now. Comes home with the 0-1. This one slapped foul towards the first base dugout. Watch out, Shadowcats. A couple of players have to duck out of the way that time. Felix was way behind on that fastball. That one just kind of ran in on Felix, but he was incredibly late on that. So if you're Langhennig, you must go with the fastball again. Ahead of the count, 0-2 with 2 gone here in the bottom of the second. The pitch. This one fouled straight back by Felix, and we'll do it again at 0-2.
And you mentioned that foul ball going first base side into the Shadowcats dugouts. Usually in MLB stadiums, it's the home team that's on the first base side and the away team on the third base side.
Well, it's kind of random actually in the MLB.
Really, I thought it was pretty traditional, one or the other. But because of the sun, both at Incarnate Word and also at Veterans Field for the Shadowcats, the home team goes on the third base side, so they get that shade.
0-2 misses outside with a fastball, and the count's 1-2. I think it's just team choice. I don't think there's, maybe traditionally it used to be third base dugout, or first base dugout, but I'm pretty sure it's just team choice. 1-2 the count, and the pitch swung on and missed. A breaking ball that got Felix waving and missing, and that retires the side. But the River Monsters strike again. They get a run on a hit and leave one stranded out there at second base. We go to the third inning. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Shadowcats Audio Network. 2-0, the River Monsters on top of the Shadowcats as we go to the third inning. And here to bring you the third inning action is my partner, Will Clifford. Will.
All right, well, Noah Tart leads off for the Shadowcats, then it'll be Samuelson, and then back to the top of the order for Zeno. Tart, freshman from Franklin, Texas, went to Wharton County JUCO this year. So he settles into the righty batter's box, and we're underway in the top of the third. First pitch misses just outside, 0-1. Shadowcats down 2-0 here in the top of the third, and Tart at JUCO this year hit .229 in just 34 games played. He did knock 7 RBIs. As he sends one straight up the middle, deep center field, Trinidad comes on and makes the play. One down here in the top of the third.
Man, can't be mad at that swing if you're Tart. And to be honest, can't be mad at many of the swings from the Shadowcats. Feels like there's been a few balls put in play just mashed by Shadowcats, but unfortunately just right at River Monster defenders. And right there, an example of it, a hard line out to center field basically from Tart.
Samuelson steps into the lefty's batter's box. The lanky lefty stands 6'2", 160. Spent this year at Odessa Community College, but calls Sherman, Texas his home. Down on the count, 0-1. Swings and misses, now down in a hole 0-2.
And Samuelson calls Sherman, Texas home. There's 4 Odessa players on Sherman, and Samuelson is hosting all 4 of them, so how about that? Including himself.
How about that? Well, they could just stay at home. That pitch fouled off deep third base side. That'll go out of play. Will reset. So still in an 0-2 hole here in the top of the third. One down. The Shadowcats trail by 2. Foley resets. Delivers the 0-2. Just missing outside 1-2 the count.
That was a really competitive pitch that time from Foley. A fastball that had to be so hard to take if you're Samuelson, just off the outer half. But Foley's making that outer half to lefties seem really attractive.
The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Samuelson waves at that one. It'll go down on strikes. The second out of the inning for the Shadowcats. So in steps Patrick Zano, the left fielder. Another lefty in the box, a little lefty lane here for the Shadowcats.
And that's already the 4th strikeout for Foley, so that fastball is really working well for him. Samuelson was behind on that one, but Zano, one of those guys who hit a hard line drive to start this game.
Hard line drive right to the shortstop as he watches that first pitch in for a ball, 1-0. Foley sets. The 1-0. Swung on and driven deep to right field. Wells is tracking. He's just shy of the warning track and will make the play. 1 strikeout, no hits here for Sherman. Still down 2-0 to San Antonio. Here you're listening to the Jake Shockley Radio Network. Tune in for more Sherman Shadowcats baseball. Hey, Shadowcats fans, you're listening to the Sherman Shadowcats Baseball Network on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. The third inning is brought to you by 903 Brewers, crafted to perfection. Please drink responsibly. Stepping into the righty batter's box for San Antonio is Jorge De Los Santos. De Los Santos attends Lubbock Christian College. Last year, batted .339 for LCU as he watches the first pitch high and inside for a ball.
Great flow. I mean, just absolutely incredible hair on him.
He'll watch the second pitch in for a strike, 1-1 the count. Lane Hennig just caught the high outside part of that zone, and he does have some pretty luscious locks there.
I mean, I couldn't imagine it whenever he came up to shake our hands earlier.
Lane Hennig, a quick pitch, just missing the zone, 2-1, trying to maybe play some mind games here with Santos. Yeah, no, he had his hair up in a bun earlier today in batting practice, and now he's kind of all set up as the 2-1. Misses low, moves to 3-1.
And a really good take that time from Santos on a breaking ball that was just outside the zone, and Langhanig could not get the swing and miss from the beautiful-haired Santos.
3-1. Breaking ball loops in, fouled back by Santos, so the count moves full. Santos, 8 home runs, so he's got a little bit of pop. He goes with that open stance and definitely was pulling a lot still during batting practice. As the full count pitch is hit straight to Pruski. Pruski throws over to first, and in time, Ford makes the play. I apologize, that was Haley on short. Still throwing to Ford, and Ford gets the out there. 1 down here in the bottom of the third. Shadowcats still trail 2-0.
Well, good news for Easton Ford out there on first base as the sun has set. So that was the pretty much same exact play that he had in the first inning where the ball just popped out of his glove, but that time, obviously, the first baseman able to catch that one.
As the next batter, Roman Trinidad, watches that pitch in for a ball. Lane Hennig still kind of hammering away at the zone, but not quite getting ahead in counts. So he settles in and delivers the 1-0. That one driven straight to second base. Roberts fields and throws over to first. Ford corrals it. 2 down here, bottom of the third. Quick out, good for the pitch count.
Really good for the pitch count, and I really like the way that Langhanig has been working. He's been working quickly. He's not allowing, too many 2-ball, 3-ball counts to the River Monsters. He's not allowing their hitters to really get comfortable in there. And whenever he has fallen behind, he's really recovered well. Again, just the one free base, the hit by pitch to start the second. Now that run did end up coming around to score, but for Langhanig, you have to be really encouraged by the start so far.
He delivers a first pitch breaking ball strike to Logan Pruski. Pruski, out of University of North Colorado, grew up in California. He's a redshirt junior, rising to be a redshirt senior. And he was ranked 9th shortstop in the state of Nevada. The 0-1. Just catching the far side of the plate for a strike, 0-2. He's ahead in this count now, and he's working the plate. I think he's settled in a little bit, and he's also reaching up there in some velocity.
Yeah, seems like it. We don't have a radar gun here, but his fastball seems really heavy right now.
He settles in, gives a long stare, and delivers the 0-2. Way outside that one in the dirt. Luckily, Tart can scoot over and make the play and keep that one from trickling behind home. Of course, nobody on, so would do no damage, but always good to stay alert.
I think Langhanig definitely was thinking about the strikeout there. He yanked that slider.
The 0-2. Did he get the sword? It's a drop third strike. Tart puts the tag on him. He is out. So 3 up, 3 down for the Shadowcats. You're listening to the Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Hey, Shadowcats Nation, welcome to the fourth inning. Sherman trails 2-0 to San Antonio. There was a run in the first from San Antonio and then a run in the second. And nothing in the third, a 1-2-3 inning, and now they go to bat trying to cut down this lead. The fourth inning is brought to you by Austin College. Become a Kangaroo today.
You were talking in the car earlier that you've seen a kangaroo before.
I have seen a kangaroo. I've held a kangaroo in my lap.
Oh,
actually.
Look at that.
Yeah. Shout out whatever house that was outside of St. Mark's High School. It was a great long run. All right. That one fouled way back and over us. It's Austin Haley settling into the righty's batter's box, trying to attack early there.
You know, I'm really hoping for one day in my broadcasting career that I'll be able to catch a foul ball. I feel like the netting is a little bit too high here for our press box for us to be able to get one.
On this stadium, it might be. It'd have to kind of loop back at us. It's the 0-1, just missing on the inside. 1-1 the count.
Now, in Sherman, we have a tent.
We do have a tent.
That's our broadcast booth, and that really protects us from all foul balls as well, so
Yeah.
kind of takes out the possibility there.
I mean, it's got to be a perfect moment, but then strike to Haley, 1-2. It's got to be a perfect moment, right? It's got to kind of come. It's got to be the perfect loop. But also, are you going to be ready when that ball comes your way, Josh?
Come on, I'll be ready.
Sure, we'll see. We'll see. I know I got quick hands. I don't know if you do.
I played baseball. I was a first baseman. I got quick hands. Although pop-ups I struggled with somehow.
The 1-2. Inside evens up the count 2-2. Ballerina counts. Sherman trailing by 2 runs here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no out in the top of the fourth. Still Foley working on the mound as he sets and delivers the 2-2. And Haley watches it in for a strike. Thought that one might have been a little low. It was not. So he goes down on strikes, and in steps Cole Carnes, the designated hitter.
Tough one for Haley. I think he thought that one was a little bit low below the knees, but unfortunately for him, home plate umpire disagreed.
Foley's got 5 strikeouts on the day. So he begins work on Carnes, who waves at a pitch. Carnes, the lefty, his first at-bat, struck out as well. So looking for a different result this time. As he's down 0-1. Haley sets and delivers. Swings at another pitch that was pretty heavily outside, down in a hole, 0-2.
Just seems to be a little bit behind the fastball right now.
Foley's really got it working today. As he sets the 0-2. Swung on and missed. 3 pitches, 3 whiffs. Foley up in the strikeout count today. Sherman heading back to the bench, looking not to go down in order. Easton Ford will be the man for the Shadowcats. The big righty, first baseman, 6'3", 230, and he's also sporting a nice mustache.
Yeah, and he's just kind of a lumberjack of a dude. I really like it.
He fouls a first pitch straight back. Could have been one that went straight at us, but the net in the way, and Josh's
But did you
dream-
see I was ready for it?
You were ready this time, but it might come on the road. Who knows where we'll be.
No, I just want the listeners at home to know that I was ready for that foul ball. You don't think I would be ready. I would be ready.
Just because you're ready doesn't mean you're making the play, as the 0-1 is also fouled back over us, and an 0-2 hole for Ford. Foley working here as there's someone loading in the bullpen for San Antonio. The 0-2. Low just in the dirt there, but blocked well by De Los Santos. 1-2 the count.
A check swing there from Ford. I'm a little surprised Santos didn't ask for an appeal to the first base umpire to see if Ford swung, because that was pretty close.
The 1-2. Sent high in the air, first base side. Ham will give it a look and watch it go out of play. Stays 1-2.
There's a fan who's just trickling behind the first base dugout, didn't see it, and it landed maybe 2 feet from him. And he seems unfazed by it.
It's Dylan Bulkey, the lefty, warming in the pen for San Antonio. as Foley tries to finish up the fourth. The 1-2. Spikes it in the dirt, a couple feet in front of Ford. He'll watch it go back to the backstop. 2-2 now. Ford isn't a guy who strikes out a great deal. Last season in college at Southeastern Oklahoma State, 15 strikeouts to 20 walks in 34 games played. The 2-2. High and inside, Ford works the count full. So after going down 0-2, he works himself all the way back.
And 15 strikeouts in just 34 games is absolutely insane. Just a really good eye at the plate and a really good just bat to ball at the plate.
The 20 walks, too, are equally as impressive.
Yeah.
The full count pitch. High in the zone, Ford works a walk. So Sherman's got a man on and the tying run to the plate here in the top of the fourth. Sherman's still trailing by 2. 2 down here, top of the fourth.
Just a really good at-bat by Easton Ford there as he was down in the count and then just does a really good job of working back, fighting off tough pitches, looking at a few close pitches, and just a really good at-bat there.
Delton Roberts, another guy who plays collegiate ball in Oklahoma, Central Oklahoma University this time. He transferred in from Crowley Community College and playing second base today for your Shadowcats. So he watches the first pitch for a ball. Foley sets and delivers the 1-0. That one fouled way off the first base side, and so Sherman bats starting to get on it. 1-1 the count.
Just trying to find the timing of Foley, who his fastball is just so heavy right now that it's been really tough on these Shadowcat hitters.
The 1-1. Spikes it again. Ford will move from first to second easily. There's no throw, so this time that ball that gets behind De Los Santos trickles all the way back, and now a threat, second base.
Yeah, for the first time today, the Shadowcats have a runner in scoring position, as that time Foley would just kind of like a 54-footer just bounce that one right in front of home plate, and really nothing Santos could have done to block that one.
Foley, whose pitch count is starting to get up there, delivers the 2-1. That one misses, 3-1 now. So struggling to hit the zone after 2 strikeouts to start the inning, sending Haley and Carnes down with a K. He's in some trouble, and we've got a mound visit.
Yeah, Ruben Felix going to go check in on his pitcher.
In the middle of an at-bat, might be checking to see if he's all right. Not a normal time to sub a pitcher in the middle of an at-bat, and we'll see what's going on with him. So Dylan Boakley working in the bullpen. He's 6'1", 175, presumably the guy who will come in either now or at the start of next inning. It's just a matter of when, as he's the only guy warming back there.
Fully up to 55 pitches now, so definitely up there in pitch count for a guy who didn't pitch too much in college this past year, and then also just kind of running into a little bit of trouble here late.
So it'll be Roberts, stands back in the 3-1. Ford leading off on second. Foley checks back, now delivers home. That one inside jam shot to the second baseman Felix. He will field and throw to first. Ham makes the play, so 2 strikeouts, a walk, and a ground out. Foley gets out of the inning, and Sherman is down 2-0 to San Antonio. We're going to the bottom of the fourth. You're listening to the Sherman Shadowcats baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Hey, Shadowcats fans, you're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. We moved to the bottom of the fourth. Sherman down 2-0, so the San Antonio River Monsters stepping in for the Monsters. It'll be Hunter Ham playing first base today. So watch the first pitch for a ball, 1-0 the count. Also watching ball number 2 go way outside. So Lang Henning still working on the mound for the Shadowcats. He's been all over the place. Not exactly wild, but not exactly getting ahead in counts as the 2-0 pitch is fouled high in the air. First base side, but that one will just sneak out of play. Like we've said a couple times, deep foul territory here.
Yeah, a lot of foul territory. It looked like Ford would have had a chance at that one. That one landed just inside the first base dugout by maybe a few feet.
Hunter Ham transferred to Prairie View A&M from Redlands Community College, and this year he hit .274. Ham watches the 2-1 in for a strike count, moves to 2-2.
And good job by Langhenig, who got behind in the count 2-0 to come right back with two straight strikes.
Langhenig, a quick pitch, bounces off his catcher, Tart. That one also missing for a ball 3-2. Tart might have gotten a little crossed up there. Langhenig he's done that a couple times now where he sets and goes
Just goes quickly, yeah.
No pitch clock here as the count is now full. So the payoff pitch to Ham. In for strike 3, Ham watches it all the way, a breaking ball. Had some right to left movement. And there's one down here in the bottom of the fourth. Shadowcats still trailing by 2.
That was just an absolutely nasty pitch by Langhenig there. The breaking ball that just kind of front-doored Ham and just froze him was coming at his front hip and then wound up in the zone. Just a really good front-door breaking ball from Langhenig.
And now Langhenig will face off De Hoyos, who waves at the first pitch for a strike.
This has been a really impressive start from Langhenig. And again, the 2 runs was unearned in the first inning and then an earned run, but really was sort of his fault in the second inning. Other than that, a very clean sheet.
So there's one that goes straight back over his head into center field. Samuelson comes on and makes the play. But it'll be David De Hoyos, who reaches first safely. So a strikeout and then a hit to start the inning. And now due up for San Antonio, it's Sammy Morales.
But that's one where you can live with, right? Like, you'll live with a guy, a guy gets a single up the middle, so be it. It's more the walks, the hit by pitches, where Langhenig has really struggled, I guess, in his career, but has really toned that down today. Just the one hit by pitch that was actually to De Hoyos earlier this game.
Langhenig's first pitch is in the dirt. Count is 1-0. Tart will check back De Hoyos at first base, but he'll stay put. So Morales and Langhenig battling it out.
Morales has the 1 RBI from this game. RBI single in the second.
The 1-0. Catches zone for a strike, 1-1 the count. So still battling strong here. All over the place, a little sporadic for him, but not exactly wild like I said before. He's throwing strikes with a few exceptions here and there.
You could say effectively wild.
Effectively wild indeed. That one is wild. Bounces off Tart's mitt. Tart will not throw over to second as De Hoyos moves in safely and takes a base with no throw. So now a runner in scoring position.
But that's one that Tart has to have behind the plate. I mean, that's a strike, or a ball that was, it didn't hit the dirt. It didn't, it might have short hopped in, but I don't think that'll go down as a wild pitch. I think that is a pass ball. That's one Tart would like to have back.
Exactly. Now the count is 2-1 to Morales. Langhenig not even checking the runner at second yet. He'll take a peek back, but no interest in throwing. A second look now delivers home. That one inside on the hands of Morales. 3-1 the count now. Sherman's infield is pretty straight up. Arroyo playing a little in at third base, and Haley is touching the outfield grass at shortstop. The 3-1 low in the dirt, so it'll be a walk. Runner goes to third base, but no throw again by Tart. Langhenig starting to get a little too wild here as the runner reaches on 5 pitches. Morales works his walk.
And that might be the end of the line for Langhenig.
Isaac Davila heads to the mound and takes the ball from his starter. So 2 runs, both unearned. He's got the responsibility for De Hoyos, who is now standing on third, and Morales on first. And we'll go to break, and we'll see who the Shadowcats bring in. Welcome back to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball. You're listening to the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. We're in the bottom of the 4th here in San Antonio. The sun's going down. Sherman trailing by 2. And it's going to be John Lane Hennig who heads off the mound. He has no earned runs, but does have responsibility for the 2 runners at the corners. And now it's Knock Anna who takes over on the mound. The southpaw goes to work here. He will face off against Bryce Wells.
How great would it be to just get a double play, roll it up the middle, get out of this inning?
The first pitch to Wells, inside, runner goes to second, no throw from Tart, so Morales takes second.
Well, there goes that.
Catcher's indifference, no more double play ball, and San Antonio is really threatening to tack on here. Anna really inherited a jam.
Interestingly, the infield does not come in for the Shadowcats. Now they play halfway.
The 1-0. Check swing from Wells. Did he go and appeal to first? There's no first base umpire. There's a first base coach, and the first base coach said it was a ball. And the call will stay a ball. So 2-0.
Well, they appealed to the umpire at the middle. I'm just more confused on how that pitch wasn't in the zone. That seems like a strike to me.
The 2-0 count. Missing inside, now 3-0 to Wells. So Anna in a hole here and at risk of loading the bases. Anna out of USF, 3.38 ERA this year. Came out of the bullpen like he did today. Anna sets and delivers the 3-0 count. That one missing the zone. Looked like it almost caught the top corner, but it did not, according to our umpire today. And now the bases are loaded. So Anna here in a jam, bases loaded, 1 down. Shadowcats trailing 2-0 San Antonio tonight.
It seems like he's kind of overdoing it with his fastball, and he's struggling to find the zone. A good chance here to reset. Now a force out at any base and lefty-on-lefty matchup.
The first pitch. That one high in the zone, called a strike. Angel Martinez, the lefty, my bad, called a ball. Angel Martinez sets into the lefty's batter's box in this lefty-on-lefty matchup. With the bases loaded, an opportunity to do some damage. The 1-0 pitch. Inside again. Anna has not thrown a ball, or has not thrown a strike in 6 pitches. Only balls for him.
And he's just missing either low and away or up and in, I guess, to the lefty. So glove side low or up and air, arm side high, which usually means that he's sort of yanking his pitches.
The 2-0 pitch. Little outside, but there's a wave and a miss from Martinez, so 2-1 count, and Anna gets that first strike, and maybe that helps push him over. And
Yeah, I'm shocked that Martinez was swinging. He just threw 6 straight balls, and you basically gifted him a strike there. Now, that one was competitive, I think, just above the zone, but still, surprised he wasn't taking all the way.
2-1. That one is sawed off. Goes to the shortstop now. Second base, a chance for the double play. That one is loose. Ford cannot corral it, so that will go into the wall. Everybody will score. And it is an error. Bryce Wells reaches second. Morales, De Hoyos all score there. And Wells scores as well. Martinez marks his way to second. So now Sherman gives up 3 runs there on the bases. 2 runs, my bad. 2 runs there. The bases are cleared except for Wells, who leads off second. Or Martinez, who leads off second.
Yeah, so an interesting play there, and just an opportunity for the Shadowcats to get out of the inning, but just couldn't do it.
Anna, looking a little displeased with the outcome, kind of swings his arms after throwing a first pitch strike to Felix, the second baseman for San Antonio.
The scoreboard shows 3-0. It should be 4-0, I believe.
It should be, as 2 runs scored. 1 was tossed out at second, as Haley tossed to Roberts for the start of what should have been a double play ball, but then Roberts' throw to Ford was wild, and so thus...
Another runner was able to come home.
Exactly.
Maybe the scoreboard will update, or maybe for the Shadowcats it'll be just one less run to come back from, I guess.
That would be one way to cut the deficit down, as the 0-2 pitch misses low in the zone, 1-2.
This is the inning where it's just been gifted base runners and then gifted opportunities as well, as the Shadowcats not clean in the field and not clean on the mound either.
Runner goes, no throw again from Tart. Tart really not paying attention to any of the runners, as Martinez works his way now to third. So reaches second on the aired throw, and now third with a catcher's indifference. And so the Shadowcats now in a 2-2 count. Anna working to battle back, down 4-0 here in the fourth. That's a strike, so there's a strikeout from Anna. He gets out of the jam. Still damage done. 2 runs come across the plate. Shadowcats trail by 4. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Hey there, Shadowcats Nation. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Here to take you through the next couple of innings is Josh Rajanov.
Thanks, Will. To the top of the 5th we go. Shadowcats trailing the River Monsters 4-0. This 5th inning is brought to you by Grayson College. Find your student success today at Grayson College. New pitcher on the mound for the River Monsters, Dylan Bulkey, the tall, lengthy left-hander out of Incarnate Word, another guy pitching on his home turf. He'll face Donovan Arroyo, Ryan Sessions, and Noah Tart here in the top of the 5th. Shadowcats trail by 4. First pitch to Arroyo misses outside. Bulkey this year had an incredible year for Incarnate Word. 27 2/3 innings pitch, a 1.27 ERA. 1-0. Breaking ball in the zone, and the count's 1-1. He allowed just 10 hits all year in 27 2/3 innings of work. A .98 whip for him. 1-1, and the pitch. And when a fastball in the zone, and the count is 1-2. A heavy fastball from Bulkey. The tall, lengthy left-hander kind of comes over the top of that fastball. If I had a mind radar gun, I would assume to be in the mid-90s. 1-2. Big wave and a miss at a fastball. Arroyo goes down waving, and there's one gone here in the top of the 5th. 4-0 Shadowcats trail, and Bulkey just dominating that at-bat.
Bulkey really finding the strike zone early and going to work, but San Antonio's got another guy warming in the bullpen right now, so they might not keep him in the game for too long. That guy warming in the bullpen is MJ Espinoza, who's a right-handed pitcher, so got a little lefty lane here, and then they might go back to the bullpen and call on someone else.
First pitch here to Sessions is a breaking ball in the outer half, 0-1. Yeah, lefty-on-lefty matchup might be the move from Ruben Felix, 0-1. This one chopped foul, and the count is 0-2, as all the Shadowcat hitters seem to be pretty far behind on Bulkey's fastball so far. Just 5 earned runs in 27 2/3 innings of work with Incarnate Word. 39 Ks and no walks. 0-2 misses away. So just incredible stuff from Bulkey, who now gets to pitch at his home turf, gets to be at home. No one understands this mound better than him on this field. He's ahead of the count, 1-2. The pitch. Fastball just misses high. And the count evens at 2-2.
He takes the mound from the far right side of the rubber, really all the way out there towards third base. And so he's pitching with that left hand coming and attacking righties and going away from the lefties.
2-2. Slapped foul over the third base dugout, so we'll do it again. Now, Sessions not a guy who will strike out a lot. He is a tough out at the plate. He'll definitely put the ball in play, kind of a push left-hander, but facing a tough lefty on the mound. 2-2 the count, and the pitch. Just missed inside with a fastball by maybe less than an inch, and I bet you if there was ABS here, you might have seen a challenge by Santos, the catcher there, but nonetheless, the count runs full to Sessions.
Saw some guys in the San Antonio dugout tapping their head.
Full count, payoff pitch. Misses low and away. Check swing by Sessions. He did not go around, says the third base umpire. And it's a one-out walk offered to Ryan Sessions. So Shadowcats trying to get something going. We have yet to record a hit so far today.
It'd be a very strange way to get no hit by letting on. They've had base runners. They had guys at second threatening. In the fourth, they had Easton Ford leading off there, but didn't get moved over to third or brought home.
First pitch here to Noah Tart, in off the hands, chopped foul. Tart with a deep fly out his last time up.
Tart also working behind the plate. A couple guys moving on the base pass for San Antonio, and he was no throw, which in some cases can make sense because if one gets by you or gets by your teammate out there, that ball travels all the way out into the outfield, and then you're letting in more runs.
0-1. The pitch misses high, and the count is 1-1. Sessions off of first base. Not too much of a threat to steal. Shadowcats trail 4-0 here in the top of the fifth inning with one gone and a runner on first. The 1-1 pitch misses low and into Tart, and the count is 2-1. So interestingly enough, that was the first walk allowed on this mound by Bulky, going back to his college year so far this past year. The one to Ryan Sessions. So really good at bat from him.
Not an incredible sample size, but he's still really good at attacking the zone, and you can tell as he really throws downhill. It's a high arm slot for him.
2-1 the count, and the pitch misses low. The count's 3-1.
I'm also watching, there's some clouds off in about center, right center, and I thought I saw a lightning strike a little bit.
They seem
ago.
like storm clouds, so we're going to hope that it stays off.
Seems a good distance away, though.
The 3-1. Chopped foul off the front leg of Tart. And the count runs full. Sessions leads off at first. Full count here to Noah Tart. Trying to get the first hit of the game for the Shadowcats, trailing 4-0 here in the top of the 5th. Bulky set at his belly. Kicks and fires the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Foul tipped into the glove of Santos. Second strikeout of the inning and of the game for Bulky. And there's 2 gone here in the top of the 5th. A runner still at first.
I've got to say, whoever's working the soundboard here in San Antonio.
Pretty creative. I like
They're
it.
going all over the place with these strikes. There was the P.C. Richards strikeout whistle before, now the game over. So they're really all over the place. Props to them, though. A fun evening here in San Antonio.
First pitch to Samuelson, swung on and missed. Back pick over to first. And Sessions back in with a dive. Yeah, and they've had a lot of fun to work with. That was the 8th strikeout of the game for River Monster pitching. So Shadowcat hitters just really being dominated early on.
Maybe an early season thing, maybe something that we grow concerned about.
0-1 fouled straight back, and the count is 0-2. Yeah, you were ready for that one.
A little delayed, but
You would have to
dive
for that
I'd
one.
have to move a handful, but
Yeah,
they say
and maybe to the next press box and then some.
Yeah, they remember my plan. They said, get yourself set, and make the read on the ball and go. And so I was set, and then I, went and made the play. Unfortunately, the net beat me to it.
0-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled straight back. Samuelson just barely clipped that ball, but enough to live to see another pitch here in the top of the 5th. Shadowcats trail by 4.
Samuelson, of course, transferring to Incarnate Word next
Yeah.
summer, or next season, so he'll be teammates with the guy tossing him on the mound.
0-2 misses away. So the future teammates.
Future teammates.
In a battle here. 1-2 the count. As Bulky comes set and comes home. Big wave and a miss at a breaking ball for strike 3. And Bulky strikes out the side in the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 4-0 Shadowcats trail the River Monsters. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcat Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Shadowcats Audio Network. To the bottom of the 5th, Shadowcats trail the River Monsters 4-0. Knockney Anna back out for another inning of work. He'll face the top of the River Monsters lineup. Jorge De Los Santos, the righty in the box, once again with a great hair. And the first pitch from Anna, working from the wind now. Misses just a bit inside, and the count is 1-0. Now, Anna, his mechanics, he's kind of like a cross-arm lefty, comes from a 3/4 throwing angle. So comes inside to righties and away from lefties. 1-0. Breaking ball in the zone, and the count is 1-1, almost like a Chris Sale type.
Almost like a Chris Sale type, and with kind of all that rearing back, he's able to really generate a lot of spin on the ball, 2,154 rotations per minute, and getting up to about 92 on that fastball, sitting comfortably around there. So an effective pitch mix when it's working.
1-1, chopped on the ground, down the third base line, trickles foul, as Arroyo was giving chase. And the count's 1-2. And, of course, came in relief in the top of the fourth inning. Issued a walk, then did get the ground ball to try and get out of the inning. And then a couple of runners scored off the throwing error from Roberts, the second baseman. Those runs both charge to John Langnick. 1-2. Breaking ball that drops into the zone, called strike 3. And Santos is caught looking. And it's the second strikeout of the game for Anna, and there's one gone here in the bottom of the fifth.
And that's back-to-back strikeouts if you count the strikeout from Felix in the fourth, and now with De Los Santos in the fifth. So working productively.
So a good first out for Anna, who seems to have gotten his command in the zone, and now faces Roman Trinidad, lefty-on-lefty battle. First pitch is slapped foul over the third base side. And the count's 0-1. That time Anna tried going with a front door breaking ball, and a really good job by Trinidad that time to stay in there. That one was starting pretty much behind him based off the arm angle from Anna.
Seeing a lefty as a lefty can be helpful to some guys, but in this case might be a little bit challenging as he fouls that off.
0-1, breaking ball in the zone, and the count is 0-2. Really working well with that front door breaking ball that's starting at the lefty's hip and then ending up pretty much right down the middle. 0-2 the count as Anna's trying to make quick work of Trinidad. The 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and a backwards K. 2 backwards Ks in this inning for Anna. And there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the fifth. Shadowcats still trail 4-0.
And as we monitor this storm cloud that's still looming, saw a little more lightning, so we'll see how far away it is and if hopefully it doesn't affect the game at all, but it's something that could be looming and cause a little bit of a reset.
Hopefully not. Need to check the radar. We didn't see any rain in the forecast earlier today, so this is a little pop-up storm, I guess, forming in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. First pitch is slapped to the right side, past the dive of Roberts, and into right field, a base hit. Logan Pruski with a slap shot into right field, and it's a 2-out single for him. And the River Monsters once again have a base runner. They've had base runners in all but 1 inning, just the bottom of the third inning where they didn't have any base runners, and now make it 4 out of 5 with a single from Pruski.
Now to play Hunter Ham, who struck out before that rally last inning.
First pitch to him. Breaking ball in the zone. And the count's 0-1. Hunter Ham is 0 for 2 today. Did reach on that error in the first inning. Also has a strikeout his last time up. 0-1, the pitch. This one sent high in the air down the right field line. Sessions giving chase, and it lands in foul territory.
Ham also caught stealing to end the first. It's also a busy day for him.
Busy day for him. Both at the plate and on the base pass. In a hole here, 0-2 to Anna. Trying to make it a somewhat breezy bottom half of the fifth inning. Anna comes set high at the chest. And a throw over to first. Pruski back in, standing up. A lefty move that time, and a pretty decent one. Pruski was leaning a little bit, but still got back in pretty easily. 0-2 the count. And the pitch. Misses inside with a breaking ball. Couldn't get the chase from Ham. So the count runs to 1-2 with 2 gone and a 4-run deficit for the Shadowcats here in the bottom of the 5th. Anna comes set. And comes home. Runner goes, and the pitch is chopped high towards second base. Roberts comes in, fields it. Underhand flip to Ford at first, and that retires the side. So no runs on a hit and 1 stranded for the River Monsters as they still lead it 4-0 heading into the 6th inning. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Shadowcats Audio Network. To the top of the 6th we go, 4-0 Shadowcats trailing the River Monsters and have the top of the lineup due up against Dylan Bulkey. This 6th inning is brought to you by Courtyard Marriott Sherman, where the players stay. Patrick Zano, Austin Haley, Cole Carnes due up for the Cats. First pitch from Bulkey is looped into the air, down into shallow left field, and gets past the reach of Pruski and into left field, and it's the first hit of the Shadowcats season, and it comes in the top of the 6th inning. But a leadoff single for Patrick Zano off a guy who has been pretty tough to hit. Bulkey, not an easy task, so Zano gets the first hit of the year for the Shadowcats. He leads off first.
And MJ Espinoza warming in the bullpen for San Antonio. He might be set to come on here soon.
First pitch to Austin Haley, skied in the air, shallow right center field. Trinidad and Wells come in. It's Wells, the right fielder, who makes the play.
Looked like he got a bad read on it at first, was tracking back, and then Trinidad in center field was kind of coming on a little bit. Of course, Wells calls him off there, but something that to look at, you know.
Like
it's
a Bermuda
nice.
Triangle out there.
Bermuda Triangle. You think the ball? We had a Bermuda Triangle incident on the left field side with that bloop single. You know, balls can get lost in the air in the sky. Not the sun anymore. Just the sun has set, and we have a beautiful San Antonio night. So many things are beautiful here in San Antonio.
First pitch here to Cole Carnes, breaking ball on the outer half. Carnes, not so beautiful of a day for him, 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. Once looking, once swinging. Trying to get his first licks of the year. 0-1. And the pitch. Big wave and a miss. Back pick over to first. Zano back in with a dive. Santos tried to catch him lacking. And the count's 0-2 to Carnes, who's just been behind on the fastball all day.
I think the Shadowcats just haven't been seeing the pitching right. I don't know. It's take a little break after college before starting this college ball, but they're just not seeing it right.
0-2 misses away with a breaking ball. Another lefty on lefty matchup for Bulkey coming to Cole Carnes.
You look at the timing for all these guys. You have to work through and develop your timing, and you see even with the guys at the highest level in the MLB, if they don't get reps at the highest level consistently, they're off.
1-2. Called strike 3 on the outer half. Carnes can't believe it. He thought that one was high, but he's caught looking. It's his 3rd strikeout of the game, the 4th of the game for Bulkey. And there's 2 gone here in the top of the 6th. Runners 2 on first. Shadowcats trail by 4. 2 gone, that'll bring up Easton Ford. Walked his last time up, officially 0 for 1 on the day. The first pitch to the big righty. A sword swing at a breaking ball that slowed him up, and the count's 0-1. Easton Ford was with the Shadowcats last year, at just below 300, had a home run and 9 RBIs, although his season was cut short due to injuries. 0-1, the pitch. Misses inside, and the count's 1-1. Now, Ford was dealing with hamstring injuries the year prior to last summer with the Shadowcats. Had 3 separate hamstring injuries in his year with Redlands Community College.
Guy who can do damage, you got to stay on the field, though.
1-1. And that one catches the outer half, and it's 1-2. So after his season short stint with the Shadowcats, went back to rehab, had a great year with Southeastern Oklahoma State, where he hit .315, 4 home runs, and 18 RBIs, and .976 OPS. 1-2 pitch. This one in off the hands over the first base dugout, and the count remains 1-2. And now back here once again with the Shadowcats for his 3rd straight year in Sherman.
You know, those big guys, he's up there at about 230, and there's, big frame, a lot of frame to move the ball and really driving the ball, but also that's a lot more of you to get hurt.
1-2, the count to Ford. And the pitch. Called strike 3. Bulky got him looking on a fastball on the inner half, and that retires the side. 5 strikeouts. 5 of the 6 batters that Bulky has faced have gone down to the K. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Shadowcats trail the River Monsters 4-0. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Shadowcats Audio Network. Welcome back here at Sullivan Field, here at the University of Incarnate Word. To the bottom of the 6th we go, 4-0, Shadowcats trailing the River Monsters. David Hoyos, Sammy Morales, and Bryce Wells due up for the River Monsters, facing a new pitcher for the Shadowcats. It's Landry Powell, the tall, lengthy right-hander. Works from the line, has his hands high, brings them down, and comes home. First pitch to De Hoyos is on the inner half, and the count is 0-1.
Powell played 2 seasons at East Texas Baptist University out in Marshall, Texas, where he won a conference title with them and then was also named all-tournament team for his role as a pitcher.
0-1 misses up, and the count
Found a lot
is
of
1-1.
He found a lot of success pounding the zone and then transferred to UT Dallas, where he had 3 starts, 14 earned runs this last season.
1-1 the count and the pitch. That one on the outer half, and the count is 1-2. A heavy fastball from Powell out there on the mound, and then just looped in that breaking ball. 1-2 the count. De Hoyos 1 for 1 today. He was hit by a pitch and singled. 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Elevated fastball just blew it past Hoyos. It's the first strikeout of the year for Powell. And there's one gone here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Why don't we go around the league here in the TCL?
Still feels great to say TCL, huh?
It does. You know, a new feeling, but a great feeling. And a familiar foe for the Shadowcats, the Abilene Flying Bison, are down to the Lake Charles Gumbo Gators, 6-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Baton Rouge is leading Arcadia 5-3.
First pitch here misses away to Morales.
In the bottom of the 4th, Victoria is leading Brazos Valley 3-2. And, of course, in this one, San Antonio leading Sherman 4-0.
And Powell trying to keep it there. The 1-0 misses way up and in. And the count is 2-0. Powell this year at UTD, not the greatest of years for him. In just 7 2/3 innings of work, gave up 14 earned runs. 2-0 the count. And the pitch. Skied high in the air behind home plate and out of play. Will it hit our press box? No. I didn't hear a car either.
No, which is good. You know, hitting a car, that would be bad. You know, there are good things. Baseball, opening day baseball, good. Hitting cars, bad kind of thing, you know?
You have any good opening day memories?
Opening day memories. Let's see here. Going to a couple Texas Rangers opening days.
2-1, a breaking ball in the zone, and the count's 2-2.
Nothing super special, though. I mean, I've been to a couple good games at the Globe Life Field and Globe Life Park alike.
Yeah.
No college ball opening days, though, that are special. This is my first college ball opening day, so it will always be special to me.
2-2. Chopped foul, and the count remains 2-2. One gone, 4-0. Shadowcats trail the River Monsters here in the bottom of the 6th.
He's got a good breaking ball there. Looked almost like a curveball, but for a moment it didn't really look like that dropped. And if that one hangs in the zone,
It could be danger,
you
yeah.
get punished.
I have a good amount of opening day memories.
Okay, what's your favorite?
I remember there was one year, I was younger, a little young Josh Rajanov.
Little Josh.
2-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Morales goes waving and missing at a fastball just off the outer half, and there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 strikeouts from Powell. So let's see. A lot of moments at Globe Life Park, for sure, out there in Arlington, Texas. Then I believe it was just the ballpark in Arlington. That's what it was called. I don't know if I have one that comes to mind. I do remember there were times where I was tailgating with my dad and all of his friends and some of my friends, which was a good time. First pitch here to Bryce Wells misses up and away. Opening day is always just a fun time because there's nothing better than baseball. Love baseball. At least to me, there's nothing better than baseball.
There is not much better than baseball. I can fully agree with that.
1-1. And that one's just outside, counts 2-0.
Last Rangers game I would have gone to would have been Yankees at Rangers, and the Rangers are down in, it was either the bottom of the 9th or extra innings, and it was just after the trade deadline, and the Yankees had a whole load of new arms that came in, and so they were tossing.
2-0, the pitch. Fouled straight back, counts 2-1.
And so they were tossing, and it was, I believe, Jake Bird, and he takes the mound, and I'm like, well, what's this guy going to be like for the Yankees here? As I actually am a Yankees fan, although grew up in Dallas, Texas, I'm a Yankees fan.
And we call those bandwagons.
Not quite. They haven't done much winning. And they didn't do much winning because Jake Bird, was facing off against, not Josh Donaldson. Oh, I'm blanking on the name. It was...
We'll give you some time to think. The 2-1 misses high. And the count's 3-1. When was this game? Was it this year?
This would have been last season.
Last year.
It was
Josh Young?
No, not Josh Young. It was I'm gonna be kicking myself for not remembering this. Jock Peterson. So old Jock Peterson here. And he hadn't, I think he'd gotten one hit all year with the Rangers.
3-1. Misses high, check swing, and Wells went around. So the count's full.
And so he's the guy in the lineup that you just throw strikes to, get this guy, just pitch to him competitively, and he's probably not going to punish you as long as you don't hang anything, right? Well, this guy, Jock Peterson, first home run of the year, maybe a second or third hit.
I actually remember that, yeah.
Since when deep to right field, walks off the Yankees.
Yeah, I do remember that. Payoff pitch from Powell. Got him swinging. Landry Powell strikes out the side in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nothing much going for the River Monsters. Now the Shadowcats need to get going with the bats. We go to the 7th, 4-0, Sherman down to San Antonio. We go to the 7th inning. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Shadowcats audio network. To the 7th inning we go. Shadowcats trail the River Monsters 4-0, and here to bring you all the action for the 7th and 8th inning is my partner, Will Clifford. Will.
Hey, thanks, Josh. And we're still monitoring those storm clouds. I feel like a weatherman today as they're kind of drifting away. Definitely some lightning, big-time lightning.
So which way are we facing right now? Let's see, the sun set that way, so I guess we're facing south?
Let's see, is he correct?
I think we're facing south, and I think they're moving
You're
from...
going to be disappointed. We're facing north.
We're facing north.
We're facing north. So a little off by 180 degrees, but it's okay.
Oh, well, yeah, the sun set behind third base. Yeah, I had it right, just wrong. I think they're moving from north to south. No, I don't need your judgment. I had it right in my mind.
Look, man, whatever helps you sleep at night. Whatever helps you sleep at night. And what'll help me sleep at night is Delton Roberts leading off, then Donovan Arroyo and Ryan Sessions for the Shadowcats here as they try to rally. The pitcher is new. It's MJ Espinoza, and his first pitch is low and outside. 1-0 the count to Roberts. So
Shadowcats got a hit last inning.
they did.
Now
So
can they get their first run of the game?
this is the question.
year.
A good spot in the lineup, the middle of the lineup, but not a lineup that's known to roll over, although so far they have. None of them. Only one has reached base, and that would be Ryan Session, as the 1-0 catches the zone for a strike. So 1-1 now to Roberts, as this middle lineup group tries to be a little more productive. Espinoza sets and deals. That one missing the zone, 2-1 the count. So we've seen a handful of pitchers roll through and a handful of progress, and all of them have kind of thrown strikes here or there. I think the starters must have gotten a little tired, but new fresh arms and out of the bullpen. Hoping for San Antonio to carry them the rest of the way, as that one is inside all the way. Roberts kind of had to matrix a bit to get out of that one, a little jump move there.
Matrix a bit. He kind of just moved. I wouldn't call that the Matrix.
It was a quick shift. As he waits on the 3-1. 3-1 misses the zone. San Antonio thought that one was a strike. Their bench is tapping their helmets, calling for the ABS. Of course, here in San Antonio, we do not have any ABS, so leadoff batter is aboard. Roberts reaches on the walk, and that will bring up Donovan Arroyo, the third baseman.
What do you think? So, college baseball for the World Series and for the regional and super regional tournaments, bringing in the ABS system that we've seen in the major leagues.
Arroyo watches the first pitch in for a strike, a little breaking ball.
I can only imagine what college baseball in a full year would look like with the ABS system, because I've seen some egregious missed challenges this year so far in the college ABS era.
The 0-1 misses for a ball, 1-1. I have seen some egregious calls, but and also in the MLB, this isn't a college specific thing, although college is a little bit of the Wild West, where they had all those celebrations.
Right, but think about
celebration rule. They're all over the place.
But think about major league catchers and then major league hitters. No one knows the zone better than those guys.
The 1-1 misses inside the throw down to second base. Not in time. So Roberts steals a base successfully. He'll post up out there. De Los Santos has not been too impressive behind the dish, letting a couple go by him, and now a steal. The Shadowcats have a runner in scoring position, so 7th inning, but no better time than the 7th to get a little rally.
Gotta get the bats going.
Gotta get the bats going here. I know it's the first game, might be tired, enjoying your summer break a little, but it's time to get going here. We're in San Antonio playing ball. So Arroyo will watch that one in 3-1 the count. So Espinoza struggling here a bit to hit his spots. Arroyo, 5'9", 220, so short but firm here is 3-1 just catches the zone. Arroyo started walking towards first. He might have thought that one was ball 4. It was not. Count goes full here. So we're here in the top of the 7th. Sherman still down by 4. And Roberts leading off second after stealing a base. That one is behind him.
And it hit his bats.
Oh, my.
You gotta be
Shaking his
kidding
head.
me.
He tries to drop the bat out of the way, and it clips and hangs his head. Of course, a foul ball, so we'll reset that one. Just unfortunate. Roberts already started to move as well. They're out on second, so save for Espinoza, who could have hit a guy, could have walked a batter, but no, gets a second chance here as the count remains full. The full payoff pitch, swing and a miss, so a second chance does him a favor. Espinoza gets his first strikeout of the game. Arroyo down swinging, so that will bring up Ryan Sessions, who struck out in his first at-bat and then walked in his second.
Trouble with velo seems to be the growing trend for the Shadowcats, and been behind on a good amount of fastballs. Just overall, it's been tough with the velo for the Shadowcats.
And that first pitch is way outside. That will get away from De Los Santos. Roberts moves easily to third.
So now, runner on third, less than 2 outs. You have to come through here. And now we're going to see a mound visit from Ruben Felix.
I apologize. The catcher is actually no longer De Los Santos. It is Carlos Chavez, who was moved in at the start of the inning. Chavez, number 10, from El Paso, Texas. We wait to see an arm warming in the bullpen for San Antonio. A little too dark for me to see all the way out there what number that is. Josh, you got a better...
I do not. I'm blocked by a wall over here. And I don't really have good eyes. I got old eyes.
You are in fact Unk, so, big pops over here.
All right.
All right,
Enough out of you.
We're staying up a little past your bedtime for this one as we
little
roll
bit.
on. We roll on to 9 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah.
So
But a really good opportunity for the Shadowcats to wake up and get a run.
Espinoza stays in the game, settled down by his manager, pitching coach, and will fire away. That one hit him, so Sessions will take his base. After watching a first pitch ball gets clipped, so the mound visit didn't do a great deal, and so first and third for the Shadowcats.
Ryan Sessions was hit 9 times last year in the Mid-America League. That was 10th in the league. So the hit by pitch, the ball magnet already getting to him
For sure.
here in the Texas Collegiate League.
Those lefties who kind of crowd the plate and kind of go a little higher up, they really threaten with those guys who have those big breaking balls. And Espinoza's been pretty wild so far to start. He narrowly got out of one at-bat, but put 2 guys on. First pitch, though, to Noah Tart is in for a strike. So Tart behind 0-1 here. Sessions leads off first, and Roberts, the guy on third. The 0-1 to Tart. Breaking ball in for a strike, 0-2. Noah Tart in his last at-bat struck out and flew out deep to center field in his first. As more lightning strikes out off in the distance. It's a little too dark to tell quite where that cloud is, but I'm hoping that it's still out of our range and we can...
Too far north.
Too far north. You thought it was south. It's north. South would be behind us. Espinoza settles in the 0-2. Swung on and driven to right field. That one gets down for a base hit, rolls around in the corner. One run comes across to score. Roberts gets in easily. They will hold up Sessions at third. Tart stays at second. An RBI double for the Shadowcats, and that is their first run of the season.
Just such a great piece of hitting by Noah Tart, slapping one down the right field line, and he sent that a pretty far way. It one hopped the wall. Sessions didn't get a great jump on it, so he couldn't score from first. But there you go. The Shadowcats bats finally starting to wake up. You get that first run of the game.
Espinoza struggling with finding the zone toss as a challenge pitch, looking for a 3-pitch strikeout, ends up giving up the double. So it's Tart, and it is Sessions on base as that one foul tip goes all the way back behind the catcher. 0-1 to Samuelson, who has struck out in both of his at-bats so far.
Good chance to turn it around and make this a more interesting ball game. The River Monsters infield interestingly playing halfway in even with a 3-1 lead.
The 0-1. Check swing in for a strike, 0-2 now. Samuelson still looking for a base knock. Samuelson also a pitcher. So, although, struggling at the plate today, find him on the mound another day and see how he does.
Maybe.
All right, Espinoza settles in. The 0-2, looking for his strikeout. That one, a flare, a blooper, left center field. Trinidad comes on. He's called off by the left fielder Martinez. That one is caught for an out, but Sessions will move up and score. So 1 run scores for the Shadowcats. Tart stays put on second base. Thought about going. He did not. Now, the Shadowcats trail 4-2 here in the top of the 7th, and that will go back to the top of the order. We'll reset Patrick Zano.
You talk a lot about productive outs. That is the definition of productive outs. Samuelson struggled with the strikeout earlier in today's game, was down in an 0-2 hole, but then able to get a productive out there.
So Tart leads off second as the first pitch into Zano is a ball. So 1-0 the count. Espinoza still working here. Espinoza's pitch count upwards of 20 as his 1-0 missing again, 2-0 the count.
She struggled putting away hitters in this inning, and then obviously the walks and free bases, 2 runs in this inning, we'll take a guess, a walk and a hit by pitch. So
Zano for the Shadowcats, their first hit is the 2-0 is inside and high, and Espinoza is wild today, 3-0. So will he go? Does he have the green light? The leadoff got the first hit of the season for the Shadowcats. Do you think he has the green light, Josh?
Maybe. It's summer ball.
This is my favorite game to play. Does the guy have the green light?
I would think so in summer ball, but...
The 3-0. Just catching the plate. Zano thought he had the walk. Already moving over to first, comes back down and settles back into that lefty's batter box. And he's kind of back in the box there, likes to see the pitch come in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that pitch was a little bit high too, so I don't necessarily disagree with him.
Maybe some ABS as the 3-1 does miss. He works his walk. First and second for the Shadowcats here as Sherman trails 4-2, although they have scored 2 runs in this inning off of an RBI double and then a sac fly to left center field. All right, well, we have a pitching change here as San Antonio will elect to go to the pen. We will come back with you're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. There's a new pitcher in the game for the San Antonio River Monsters, and it's Brian Buchanan. The righty out of Kingsville, Texas, goes to Texas A&M Kingsville. He's a junior, and he can toss a couple innings. 51 innings pitched at A&M Kingsville this season, a 5.29 ERA, only allowing 5 home runs in all of that, so generally keeping the ball in the park. Stands at 5'10", 180.
And a really good chance for the Shadowcats, who have the go-ahead run at the plate now, trying to chip away at this now 2-run deficit.
It'll be Austin Haley settling in. Batting second as he watches that first pitch in for a strike. 0-1 the count. So 2 guys leading off base here, and that, like you said, the tying run is on first, and the go-ahead run is Haley at the plate. Haley, a walk in the first and nothing else. The 0-1. Knocker, shortstop, a slow roller. He'll just go straight to first. Haley thrown out at first, but it'll be Tart who decides to push all the way and go home. But that was 3 outs, so Tart does not score on the play. The runners were all confused.
You weren't the only one confused.
I was not the only one thrown for a loop, but Sherman gets on the board for the first time this season. Shadowcats trail 4-2 out here. We go to the bottom of the 7th, and you're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Hey, folks, we're back in Texas, San Antonio, Texas. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. We move on to the bottom of the 7th, where Landry Powell still on the mound. He will face off against Angel Martinez.
A little disappointed that in the 7th inning stretch, no take me out to the ball game just deep in the heart of Texas.
Well, it makes you ask what the heart of Texas, as that first pitch is a ball, so 1-0.
See, I'd be fine saying the San Antonio-Austin area is the heart of Texas, but you have a different answer.
I have a different answer as Martinez settles in and awaits the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball catches the zone 1-1, so I think that Dallas is the heart of Texas, and you would say this is a biased pick. I don't think it is, because let's say you're Texas and you're on a map and you're looking up at somebody who is looking down at the map. Your heart is on your left side. Dallas would be right on that left side, the 1-1.
Yes, because that's how everyone looks at a map.
Well, it's Texas. Texas as the organism, and Dallas would be the heart. That's the thing. It's not. Well, because also if I'm looking at you,
okay,
your heart would be. Your heart is on your left side.
Mm-hmm. It's on my left side,
which would be my right. So if I'm looking at you, your heart is on my right. So I'm just saying that I think Texas is the heart of Texas. I mean, San Antonio is beautiful nonetheless. Same with Austin. Some great cities in Texas. I also do love El Paso as the 2-1.
You've been to El Paso?
3-1. I do like El Paso.
You've been there?
I have driven through a couple times. It's quite a nice place.
Well, you've driven through, or you've...
Family. I also have family on El Paso. It's a good spot.
But you've driven through, or you've been there?
I've stopped as well. Not significant amount of time. I've spent more time in other cities, as it's quite far from us. The 3-1 pitch to Martinez. High. So ball 4. So the first batter reaches base on a walk.
not what you want if you're Powell coming off of an inning where you strike out the side and then coming off the top half of the inning where your team gets you 2 runs cutting into the deficit. But
Best thing Powell can do is just keep attacking the zone, though, and good things come if you trust your defense. And there have been 2 errors by the Shadowcats today is cause of why they're losing right now, 4-2 here in the
difference
bottom
in the
of
game.
the 7th. It is the difference in the game, for sure. But you do have to trust your defense. You can't let the errors discourage from throwing strikes. So there's a big breaking ball catch in the zone, 1 strike, no ball. So that's my opinion. There's some great cities in Texas, the ones that I listed, and, it's all there. We got Austin, one of my favorites to visit. Hopefully get to visit it this summer.
I like Austin. I've been to Austin a few times. I think Austin is up there as one of the better cities in Texas.
I agree.
Although I'm really excited to experience San Antonio
Me
tomorrow.
too. Swing and a miss, throw down the first, goes over the head. Martinez advances to second. He's turning. He's going to go to third. That one is way off in right field. The throw, not in time. Sessions throw from all the way in right field. That ball bounced all the way around that foul territory, gets all the way back there. So an error, like we were just talking about.
That's costly.
Now there's a runner on third.
And I get the aggression from Tart because you had Martinez leaning off of first, but you just got to be careful there.
That ball's got to be down because even there's no world where a high ball there helps you. You'd rather let it. It's going back to first there, so you're catching him sleeping.
And if anything, if you're the Shadowcats, you'd rather just not throw that ball.
Yeah, you got
let your pitcher work.
You got to keep the lead where it is. A huge breaking ball, missing the zone. I guess narrowly outside there, maybe a little high. So 1-2 right now. The count to Felix here in the bottom of the 7th. Shadowcats trail by 2, and Martinez leads off on third. Gets set and delivers the 1-2. A check swing. Did he go? He did not. No, he did. And it was in the zone, so it didn't matter anyways. Umpire down at first base making the call. 2-2 the count. A lot going on here. San Antonio. I'm excited to go walk around San Antonio, the Riverwalk, see the people, beautiful people of San Antonio.
Ooh,
That pitch, the 2-2 misses. We go full. So runner, it's Martinez leading off on third base as Powell will stop to adjust his hat and reset as there's some lightning still going on out there here in San Antonio. All sorts of stuff going on here in the bottom of the 7th. He stands in, delivers the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, got him swinging. Back to his strikeout ways. A walk and an error, no matter, works his way back in the count. Sends Felix down on strike. Felix has now struck out 3 times today. Back to the top of the order, where it's De Los Santos, who is no longer playing catcher. And we don't have live lineup updates, but he might be DHing now as some shifting has gone on for San Antonio. A mound visit and a pitching change for the Sherman Shadowcats. So we'll come right back. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Hey, Shadowcat Nation. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcat Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. There's a pitching change. Bryce O'Quinn, the righty from Louisiana Christian University. He's a redshirt sophomore hailing from Angleton, Texas. 6'3", 215, a big frame. a quiet guy, but he can really move the ball. An 8.10 ERA at LCU in 2026. 6.2 innings pitched is that first one in the dirt, a ball. And the runner at third, Martinez, who reached on a walk and then a throwing error, which let him go all the way from first to second. Now he stands out. Called a strike, 2-1 the count. De Los Santos, 2 groundouts and then a strikeout today, so has not reached base successfully. O'Quinn sets and delivers to 2-1. Missing the outside of the zone. The infield for Sherman. All the way in, trying to prevent the run. Everybody, Arroyo, Haley, Roberts, and Ford at first. All tucked in, almost touching the grass, if not a step or two back. The 3-1. A breaking ball catching the zone, and so we'll go full.
And that breaking ball working for O'Quinn early on. Just trying to find command of this. Oh.
Quinn seems to have just thrown up
Oh.
behind the mound, and he's still throwing up. Time will be called as Sherman goes to a mound visit. He may not be feeling well.
Oh, man.
Yikes.
That's not too great.
No, it is not. So as Sherman checks on O'Quinn.
Seen this in the major leagues a few times.
I have. I've never seen it in person. Certainly interesting. He calls out for a cup of water, not a coach, but a cup of water, and a trainer from San Antonio will go out to check on him. And here on this beautiful San Antonio night, we've reached 9:20.
The humidity raising, the heat maybe, and
A mix of all some travel days is now.
maybe the bus sickness getting to him a little bit too late.
Now, perchance, is now interim manager Isaac Davila comes out to the mound to check on his big righty. So we'll wait to return. Martinez is going to be waiting at third when we come back to play, and 1 down in the inning. Sherman's still trailing by 2, so trying to keep that run off the board, Josh.
Yeah, I just, is the pressure of the 3-2 pitch a little bit too much? We hope he's okay.
I do hope he's okay.
But his teammates seem to be kind of laughing, smiling around the mound.
Everything seems very casual here. I know they might have, stopped at Chick-fil-A before coming here, maybe a bad chicken sandwich, I don't know if I've ever had that experience. I've gotten sick at a McDonald's before, but never at Chick-fil-A, Josh.
No, not Chick-fil-A for me.
Really? Huh?
We had some good Buc-ee's on our way here.
We did. Man, I love Buc-ee's. Gosh, we're just traveling the roads, the open roads of Texas, and there's just Buc-ee's everywhere, and it's beautiful. And to my friends on the East Coast who may be listening, because, of course, me and Josh attend Syracuse University, and we have lots of friends on the East Coast who live in New Jersey who are very proud of their Wawas.
No, it's not the same.
Wawa pales in comparison to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's, I'm open for a sponsorship if you want to sponsor a Sherman Shadowcats radio network. The Will Clifford broadcasting voice brought to you by Buc-ee's maybe in the future. Who knows? My DMs are open. As O'Quinn gets back on the mound.
Seems to be okay.
He gets it out of his system, hopefully.
I think it's good that O'Quinn's okay because he started yapping there for a little bit.
we were going off on a tangent. We're back now. Lightning in the distance, not disrupting the game.
Weatherman Will.
Weatherman Will. De Los Santos stands in. Full count. Runner on third. The payoff pitch. Misses. Throws up. It throws out. Ball 4. And now there's runners at the corners.
Well, above all else, it seems like he's okay. But that was, I guess he's just leaving a gift on the mound for, I guess, the future pitchers in this game, Buchanan.
The rest of this game is going to have to go.
It's turf. It's not like there's really much of a grounds crew to come clean this up.
Yeah, which is mildly, sanitarily concerning. But who am I to critique as we are well away in our press box comfortably here on a good San Antonio night. So runners at the corners, Martinez at third, Santos a threat to go at first. Roman Trinidad, the lefty, stands in, and Quinn tries to battle back. There's a heavy pitch in there for a strike. Fastball up in velo for sure. So quickly ahead, 0-1.
Try and get the ground ball here. See if you can get out of it.
Ground ball, get out, double play ball in play. It's a 4-2 game. San Antonio leads. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Pick back to first base. Santos in there safely.
That one almost got away from Ford out there at first, and almost reminiscent of the run that came home to score in the first, or excuse me, Yeah, in the second inning, actually.
The pick to first isn't fully necessary. You know he's liable to go to get out of the double play, but as the 0-1 pitch home, outside a pitch out, throw back down to third. They've got the runner in a jam. Martinez is stuck at third. The tag at the plate. Tart gets him. Throw to third base rather. Not in time. Oh, they almost got Santos trying to push his luck, but they do get one. So the pitch out, sneaky pitch out. O'Quinn tricked them. They thought he was going to first. He was going to third. Got the runner at third in a jam. The tag out at home plate. So Tart, good job there behind the dish. However, Santos advances. He is now on third base, so
But now crucially with 2 outs.
the threat not eliminated. That pitch just missing for a ball. 2-1 account.
But a really good job by Tart, who, if you recall, the part of the reason why the runner Martinez was at third there because of the throwing error earlier.
2-1 bounces in the dirt. De Los Santos will think about it at third. He will return to third base safely. So some pressure on as it's a 3-1 count now.
But a really good throw by Tart there, confidently with conviction over to third, and immediately got Martinez in a rundown. Bad base running, but good defense by Tart.
And so Trinidad watching ball 4. 5-pitch walk to Trinidad. He'll take the base. So now again, runners at the corners. What a circus this inning has been for Kyle O'Quinn and he.
But 2 walks
For
coming
Bryce
in out of the
O'Quinn,
bullpen.
rather. And Bryce O'Quinn hasn't even been in the game for that long, and he's had a worldie of a day. Oh my goodness! And he's jumping and twisting and throwing, trying to get runners out all over the place. And you know, I do question it because you're down in this game. They're trailing 4-2 here. There are 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, but you don't really need to pick off a runner here.
No, you don't.
You trust your infield to get an out sometimes, but in this case, they're looking for the pickoff. So in steps Logan Pruski. So watch the first pitch in for a ball ahead 1-0 Pruski is.
It just seems like O'Quinn only has confidence in his breaking ball right now to throw it for a strike, and now Tart going to give another first and third play.
Tart checking in as the forward holds on. Ford will hold on Trinidad at first, and nobody's really holding on Santos at third. That one fired in there for a ball. Unfortunately, getting a little of the way. O'Quinn kind of struggling here with hitting the zone. He's come back in a couple counts, but the last batter, of course, walks in a 5-pitch walk. And again, down, battling.
Definitely struggling with command.
And O'Quinn only thrown just about, so that was his 15th pitch of the at-bat, missing 3-0. So just at 15 pitches here. And 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. So O'Quinn really battling now all the way down in the count. Pruski stands in. Does he have the green light? The 3-0 misses. Breaking ball didn't catch the zone. Bases loaded.
And he's come in and walked 3 straight.
So
Got the 1 out because of the pickoff, but man, it's a rough inning for O'Quinn, and I think that might be the end of the line for him.
I'll have a chance to talk it over with interim manager Isaac Davila. He will call on the bullpen, so we'll step away. You are listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Hey there, Shadowcats Nation. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. We're here in the bottom of the second, and we catch you here. It's a 4-2 ball game, Sherman trailing by 2. There are 2 outs and a new pitcher, so O'Quinn could not get it done. Yicking and yakking and throwing balls all over the place, and so he's replaced.
You can say that, throwing up all over the place.
You know, it's a rough day for him, and he leaves the bases loaded for Aiden Benson, the reliever, right-handed pitcher out of Rogers, Arkansas. He went to Wichita State this season. He was a junior. He transferred in from Fort Scott Community College.
Really fun guy and a bullpen guy who will show a lot of emotion on the mound.
So
It's
Benson,
a work out of a bases loaded jam here.
first pitch gets a swing and a miss. At bat for San Antonio, it's Hunter Ham, the first baseman. We've been calling his name a lot here. Ham, an error, reach base on an error, caught stealing then, a strikeout, and then a ground out to second base, but some good play on defense, the first baseman, as he's got a chance to do his job and clean up the diamond as the 0-1 is fouled back, now in a hole 0-2.
Seems like a very hefty fastball from Benson, and ahead of the count here, throwing strikes. That's all you can ask for if you're the Shadowcats after O'Quinn just couldn't find their zone, walking 3 straight, and the reason Shadowcats are in this bases loaded jam.
Settles in the 0-2. Oh, just missing the edge of the zone. 1-2 the count. So, runners will go, bases loaded, so anything hit, they're moving. As Benson sets and delivers. That one missing again, missed both of those pitches back to back. Low and outside, might be setting something up here. 2-2 the count, a ballerina. It's a 2-2 count. Josh just looked at me confused, and I learned from my good friend Nate Martin that a 2-2 count is called a ballerina count because of the 2-2.
Oh.
And so here's the 2-2 pitch. Oh, just low. Good at bat from Hunter Ham, who works a full count here. Full, everything's full. Bases full, count full. Scoreboard full of runs and errors and walks. As the payoff pitch from Benson. That one driven center field. Samuelson coming on, makes the play. Gets out of a jam, so Sherman, no runs despite 3 walks. Sherman still trails by 2 here. We move to the top of the 8th. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Hey, welcome back, Sherman Shadowcats fans. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Up to bat for your Sherman Shadowcats, it's Cole Carnes. Carnes, 3 strikeouts, looking to avoid, I believe, a golden sombrero?
Yeah, that is what it's called, a golden sombrero.
He watches a ball in for the first pitch.
Never quite understood that.
Me neither.
Let's look it up.
Second pitch, fouled off, a strike. So 1-1 the count to Cole Carnes. Carnes batting third for the Shadowcats. Into pitch, it's still Buchanan as he delivers the 1-1. Missing the zone, count moves to 2-1. So a couple changes. De Los Santos moves to third base from catcher. And then it's Donaldson in at shortstop. And Connor Helms in at second. Carnes watches a pitch in for a strike, 2-2 the count.
So here's what Google AI says about the golden sombrero.
The 2-2 to Carnes. Swing and a miss. Carnes down on strikes for the fourth time today. Get out that golden sombrero, Josh.
It says that it's rooted from the term hat trick, which is a hockey term or soccer term whenever you get 3 goals in a game. So they say the reason for the golden sombrero, a bigger hat, 1 more than 3 is 4.
Well, yeah.
So it says because 4 is greater than 3, baseball slang decided to escalate the hat trick into a much larger, flashier hat, a sombrero.
Baseball just wants to be different, and someone else who's different is also Easton Ford. Different in a good way. He's 6'3", 230, standing in that righty's batter's box. Baseball, not a sport that likes to be different. They're very traditional. That doesn't necessarily mean different, as he watches the first pitch in for a ball and now watches the second pitch in for a ball. So Easton Ford, standing in a guy who's very good at working walks. Ford walked once today, struck out once, and grounded out to second. That one, a blooper, second base, fields it, flips over to Hunter Ham at first. So 2 down here in the top of the 8th. Sherman still trailing 4-2. And San Antonio looking for some fortitude.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you, Talking Yanks. Lake Story Alley.
I like Max Manus. He's a Talking Yanks guy, right? Or
No,
he has
he's
his own
not.
podcast.
He's got his own thing. He is not Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks is Jimmy and Jake, the founders. All right. First pitch in to Delton Roberts. A check swing, appeal to first. First base umpire says it was a strike. He did go, so now in a hole, 0-1 pretty quickly. Roberts, another guy who's 6'3", but he is not as big as Easton Ford. He's 185.
Tall, lengthy.
Lengthy. 0-1 pitch. Roberts, a grounder to third base. A quick throw from the hot corner. That one gets away. De Los Santos could not quite corral it and throw it with enough pace. And so Roberts will stop himself at second base. And that means the tying run is at bat. The tying run, Donovan Arroyo. Potentially.
Just hasn't really been a clean game on either side. That time Santos fielded it cleanly and then just couldn't get the strong throw, got past Ham at first base, and
That's
just brutal for him.
It's not an easy throw to make. He was reaching to his forehand side, but he got a weird bounce on it, a weird hop, and so to control it to step it, he sent it with a lot of speed because he was trying to catch the runner, but sometimes when you force something, you also make those mistakes. The first mistake really here today for San Antonio. The new batter in, Donovan Arroyo, the righty, watches in for a strike, 0-1. So Buchanan still going to work. Roberts leads off second, the 1-0, missing outside, 2-0.
So the wind blowing aggressively in now. Those storms that we said were north are coming north to south. They're coming our way, but it's supposed to arrive here around 11. So I'm taking your job, weatherman Will.
Oh no.
Hopefully this game will be done by then.
Hopefully. A big breaking ball catches the zone, so Buchanan's first strike of the at-bat. 2-1 the count now, and it's time for Arroyo to settle in.
In danger of the golden sombrero as well.
This is true. Fires in for a strike, 2-2 the count. sets up the 2-2. They say that one was low, bouncing off the ground, so we go full.
Good chance for the Shadowcats to just try and chip away and chip away.
Chip away and chip away indeed. Roberts leads off second. Buchanan checks him. Now he'll pay his attention to Arroyo. Throws home, gets the strikeout. Swing and a miss to end the inning, so another runner left on. Reached by error, but everybody else goes down. So Sherman still trailing 4-2 here. San Antonio coming up in the ninth, looking for some fortitude to finish Sherman off. You're listening to the Sherman Shadowcats baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. What is up, Shadowcat Nation? You're listening to Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Staying on the mound, it's Aiden Benson for your Shadowcats, and leading off, it's David De Hoyos for San Antonio, looking to add on here in what could possibly be their last at-bats of the night. First pitch of the at-bat inside, didn't get him, looked like it may have clipped him, bounces off the backstop, and then it'll go all the way back.
I don't know how that
Benson.
one didn't hit him.
I don't either. I thought it did. Wind is really starting to pick up here as our storms, our radar man, Josh Pajnov, who's taking over as the weatherman, and we haven't seen
Weatherman Will just sounds a lot better.
Weatherman Will sounds right, but, and I look out.
Alliteration.
Alliteration. How do you check the weather? Well, I just look outside. All right. Well, looking outside, I also see a 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, a wave. Working strikes again. Benson just trying to keep San Antonio, or trying to keep Sherman in this one, rather. As we've had a busy day, guys walking all over the place, some free trips on the base paths. But he's trying to keep it in the zone, throw some strikes as the count is 1-1 to De Hoyos. That one outside. Count moves to 2-1. De Hoyos sporting number 50, and I'm not one to judge the number that guys have. You don't know the reason, but 50 isn't exactly a number that I feel like I would choose.
It's not a baseball number, I feel.
It isn't a baseball number.
Mookie Betts. Okay, you can say that.
Yeah, whatever. The 2-1 inside, that one looked like it got him. He's a little upset, kind of sporting a little words. Didn't look like he was saying them quite to tart the catcher, but not happy.
I think he was more just mad that he got out of the way of that one. I'm not sure.
It's kind of hard to tell. You're winning the game, so not exactly to be upset. And you know that he's not trying to hit him. There's no tension right now unless they're.
At least not yet.
I mean, Sherman did throw up on the field as the visiting. It's a little impolite, but I don't know if it doesn't make sense for Sherman to throw at San Antonio. As that toss there misses, so a 5-pitch walk. And De Hoyos, leadoff batter, reaches safely, bringing up Sammy Morales, the big man, 6'1", 225, from San Antonio, so he's right at home.
That's now the 8th free base, 7 walks, and 1 hit by pitch offered by Shadowcat pitching. And to be honest, they're lucky that they've only given up 4 runs, because you just can't be giving up that many free bases. It was an issue last season, and early on, it's persisting here beginning of 2026.
College players get a little erratic. Those things happen as that one is flied first pitch, swinging. It's going to be Roberts who calls everybody off. The second baseman makes the play. That one was moving around in that wind there, but making the play safely. So 1 down here. First out in the bottom of the 8th.
I was going to say, the wind is howling in. Off the bat, I thought that ball was going to be into shallow right field. Roberts did so as well. He started going out there, and then he caught that ball just in front of the second base bag.
He called off shortstop Haley for that one. So Sherman's still trailing by 2. It's still Benson working to get Sherman into the 9th. It's the first pitch there. A tailor-made double play. There's the toss to second. To first. Ford puts the squeeze on it. Sherman is out quickly. So 3 up and 3 down. A little unorthodox, but they get the job done. And so Sherman, their last chance, trailing by 2, going into the 9th inning. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Hey there, Shadowcats fans. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Audio Network. Here to take you through the 9th inning is Josh Raginoff.
We start at the top of the 9th inning. First pitch to Ryan Sessions, skied high in the air out to shallow left field, fading foul, lands in foul territory.
Looks like they could have gone to that one.
They could have gone to that one. It landed in play just foul. A ton of defensive changes. That is an entire new Bermuda Triangle out there. Alex Villalobos is in at left field, in for Angel Martinez. Jorge De Los Santos started the game at catcher, moves to third. Rowan Donaldson at short. The right side different as well. Eric Bacon in right field, Connor Helms at second. The 0-1 pitch to Sessions is on the outer half, and the count is 0-2. Brian Buchanan on the mound for the River Monsters, trying to get the save. The 0-2 pitch just misses outside. Chavez, the catcher, popped up ready to throw it around the horn. Thought he got the strikeout call. Instead, it's 1-2. The count to Sessions, seeking his first hit of the year. Officially 0 for 1.
2 walks.
1-2 misses high.
He's 0 for 1, 2 walks today. One of the guys whose, I guess, game is being decided at the plate. He did come across and score that second run for Sherman. So an effective player for the Shadowcats who really haven't had a whole lot to pin on, I guess, today.
2-2, sliced out into left field, pretty deep. Villalobos going back at the wall. He leaps, he makes the play. He just entered into the game and makes a really nice play out there just in front of the warning track. Had to jump to get that one as it was carrying out in left field. And it's a Sports Center top 10 type first out of the top of the 9th inning.
Is it?
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay.
It's a nice play.
It's a good play for sure. I mean, he's going back on that ball, but I think he was a little late to go for it. And so I thought that was going to go over his head because his initial read was actually in there, as what I saw. It's the wind's starting to pick up here. Weatherman Will back with you.
First pitch here to Noah's Heart is in the zone, 0-1. This 9th inning is brought to you by the Bank of Texas. We go above so you can go beyond. 0-1 the count to Tart. Doubled his last time up, had an RBI. This one rolled on the ground toward short. Donaldson fields it, low throw to first, dug out by Ham. And there's 2 gone. Shadowcats down to their final out here and on opening day, trying to mount a comeback down 4-2 here in the top of the 9th.
Last out, Paxton Samuelson. An RBI for him in his last at bat. It was a sac fly. The sac fly is underrated, is what they say. You talk about productive outs. That was a productive out.
Now trying to get on base to extend this game in the 9-hole. Buchanan trying to close it out.
Buchanan throwing his 25th pitch.
First pitch. Slapped into left field. Villalobos ranging towards the line. He makes the play on the run. And that'll do it. 2 great plays by Villalobos out there in left field. And the San Antonio River Monsters get win number 1 in game number 1. And the Shadowcats fall here on opening day 4-2 to the San Antonio River Monsters. A game where the Shadowcats just could not get the bats going. Pitching was okay, worked out of a few jams. Ultimately, the bats not being able to get going, one of the flaws. And then a couple of errors on the field. The difference in the game, 2 unearned runs against the Shadowcats. And the Shadowcats, of course, losing by 2. That's a tough one on opening day for the Shadowcats, Will.
Opening day, first game in a new league, maybe some jitters, first day off of summer break. You never know what's going on with these guys all the way through. They were a little slow with the bats today. I think that's something that's going to come as the season progresses and they get through. Maybe we'll see a different offense tomorrow. Of course, with these college guys, it's a different thing every day, right? But disappointing way to go down when there were just some errors that you really wish you kind of had back that made the difference.
The Shadowcats fall 4-2 here at Sullivan Field on opening day to the San Antonio River Monsters. But our coverage rolls on after this. Be sure to stick around. The Joe Brown Law postgame show rolls on right after this. You're listening to Sherman Shadowcats Baseball on the Jake Shockley State Farm Shadowcats Audio Network. Back here at Sullivan Field, wrapping up shop here on the Joe Brown Law post-game show. Josh Rajnov joined alongside Will Clifford. And Will, just an ugly baseball game on all around. A few errors for the Shadowcats. Evidently, the winning run actually came on a error. It was that double play attempt, and you can't call an error to get the double play, but a throwing error allowed another run to come home. It was a rough go of it on the field, pitching, too many walks, And ultimately, the Shadowcats just a little bit too lackadaisical on the field to get the job done today.
It was an ugly game, and official scores decision, there's only one error to each team, although I think Sherman, if you were to look back at it, I think there might be 2 outs two errors there. So a couple errors. Just an ugly game in a day where you come off, everybody's fresh off the bus, it's a long bus ride. It's hard to say what's going to happen with this team, where they're going to go. It's too early to judge, in my opinion, of what this team is going to look like.
Yeah.
We didn't see much from the hitters, and I think that's just a coming off the bus, coming off the break kind of thing.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of good hitters on this team, 1,000%. I think one thing that this team is going to need to get used to is the velo, though. We saw a lot of velo that was just too much to handle for the Shadowcats. With that being said, because of that, our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game going to go to Dylan Bulkey, the big, tall, lengthy left-hander out of the bullpen. Goes 2 innings of work and has 5 strikeouts. So he is a big, tall, lefty, lengthy lefty, and just came out of the bullpen and absolutely dominated on his home turf out of Incarnate Word. And, 2 innings, 5 strikeouts. You can't ask for much more out of the bullpen. He pretty much dominated Shadowcats hitters.
He completely dominated. You said only gave up 1 hit, and also 2 of those 5 strikeouts were looking. So he was tearing them up. Sherman just coming out of the pen, couldn't read the lefty. He had a unique release angle where he's kind of coming in, and so he got a couple good lanes there where some of the guys weren't quite reading the ball out of his hand maybe quite as effectively. But it's something that you hope to see Sherman improve upon as the year goes on, because they're just going to keep facing better and better lefties. Yeah. And you can't get torn up 14 strikeouts in a game.
Yeah.
It's not a good stat to hang your hat on.
Some team stats to go through. Shadowcats just 1 of 10 with 2 outs, 1 of 12 with runners on base, and then just 1 of 5 with runners in scoring position. Again, hitting just struggled, although you can make the argument that pitching was encouraging, albeit a few too many walks that you would rather not give up. For the Shadowcats, it seems like pitching was somewhat of a bright spot today.
I liked what I saw out of John Lynn Hennick. He attacked the zone. He got outs. He got really unlucky with some unearned runs. He, of course, also had a couple earned runs after he came out of the game. But those first 2 in that first inning, those weren't on him. Or in the first inning and then the second inning, some errors by his defense. And so when you're a pitcher in a league like this that's this competitive, you got to trust your defense to make some plays. And it's frustrating. And it's something that we're going to have to watch for as the season progresses, because you don't want to disconnect between those pitchers and the fielders, where the pitchers don't feel like they're being backed up and they feel like they got to do everything themselves. That is a recipe for disaster. And I know it's a new season, a lot of new things going on. You don't want to start off on that bad of a foot.
Will, any last thoughts?
Last thoughts. I'm excited to see. We got another game tomorrow, and so they'll get a chance to get back at it, go at same team, same squad. Lineups coming in. We'll see if they decide to switch things up. I'm not discouraged. It's an unfortunate way to start the season. You don't want to go home unhappy like this, especially in a game where you feel like you caused it, but you also at least know what to fix. You know what went wrong. So I think Sherman is in a place to grow and improve, and so we'll see how they come out tomorrow.
Shadowcats fall in Game 1 of the series, Game 1 on the year, to the San Antonio River Monsters, 4-2. Our final lines for today for the Shadowcats: 2 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors for the River Monsters. 4 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. Shadowcats fall in Game 1, get another chance to get going and get win number 1 tomorrow in Game 2 against the River Monsters to try and split this opening series with San Antonio and go home 1-1. First pitch tomorrow will be at 7:05. Be sure to join us for the Rusco Welding pregame show at 6:45. We'll have highlights from today's game, and we'll be able to talk to interim manager Isaac Davila to try and figure out what went wrong today and what can be fixed for tomorrow. Again, Rusco Welding pregame show tomorrow at 6:45 right here from Sullivan Field. For Sam Johnson back in Sherman with that piece earlier today, thank you for that story on the new players. And for Will Clifford to my right, I'm Josh Rajnob. The Shadowcats fall on opening day 4-2. Until tomorrow, so long, everybody.